Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Cocainum.
Up yours. Woke moralist.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralist.
up.
They're eating the pets. Not only can you take a load, you can take the ultimate load, and even better than that, that you find your true calling and destiny in your willingness to take the ultimate load. They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
Up yours.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stopped
Woke
Ben
moralist.
Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stopped Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Have it your way, buddy. You sons of bitches. Beta, I did everything right and they indicted me.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like?
We'll see who cancels who.
Hey, everyone. Oh, you're muted, Lance. You're still muted. Yeah. Still muted. While he's getting that sorted out, everyone.
What about now?
Oh, there we go. I can hear myself? No, I can't.
Okay. I hit echo cancellation. Is it better now?
Oh, yeah, that's better. I was going to say, before you unmuted yourself, that we have some bad news for the chat. We had to kick out 3 members of the crew.
Yeah, all of them. The entire leftist mafia has been fired.
And then there were 2. We're the final 2. Now, what you guys can do is vote for who you want to be the remaining leftist mafia boss, and then that's it.
I'm here. I've made it.
You're supposed to be
There'll be no taking me out and putting the gun behind my head and
We were just telling them that
no Joe
we kicked you
Pesci,
out.
What's up?
No, we were telling them that we kicked you out, and David and Rebecca, and they believed it. They thought that there was just 2 of us, so you blew
They were
it.
celebrating.
No, we were telling them that we kicked you out, and David. Oh, I can hear myself.
That was weird.
Did you hear me
that
too?
was probably me. I'm opening up your chats so I can have them in the background.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Just a lefty Thursday, you know? Good old.
There's no leftist mafia without Matt Binder or Mike Figueredo or Lance. I don't think you ever have you let anyone know your last name, Lance? Or are you just Lance from the Surfs, right?
It's
Surfs.
De Los Surfs. It's De Los Surfs. Yeah.
De Los Surfs.
Spanish.
Got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then David Dole.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rebecca, we know her last name, but I can't remember it right
Azor.
now. Azor, yes. It's a cool last name too.
It's a really cool last name, yeah.
Yeah, it's an awesome last name.
Yeah, she'll be here later on. David is out this week. We do have a guest this week. Does she have the invite link?
Yes. Yeah, no, she hasn't. I sent her the link, but she hasn't responded. She responded at the start of the week. She's like, yeah, I'm excited to come on. But with the time zone in Australia, I don't know what time it is, but I sent her the link. So I suppose whenever she gets it, she'll.
Okay.
We're speaking, of course, about What Do You Mean videos, which is a great channel. You should all check out.
Yeah.
What Do You Mean? She makes really good content, and
Yeah, for sure. Happy to have her. Hopefully later on she'll join. But yeah, how we doing? Busy week.
I'm doing good. Doing great.
It was the chillest of the week, news wise.
Yeah.
Today was what?
Oh, just chill news wise. Like they're like, Tuesday was just like the big debate. It's all anyone cared about.
Right. And then the aftermath,
and then the week before was kind of a scandal, and I mean now it's there's been a lot of delicious copium from the debate.
Hey, you didn't hear the big news today? You didn't hear the big headline news today?
Throw it at me.
Flappy Bird is coming back.
Oh, that's true.
Really?
I forgot. Yes, the return of Flappy Bird.
Wow.
A third party has got the rights to the Flappy Bird franchise and is re-releasing
The
it.
story behind how they got the rights is a little bit more interesting than I thought it would be.
I'm actually really excited. I used to play that quite a bit, and I think that my highest number was like 136. So I was actually a pro.
Oh, wow, you were actually good.
I was so jealous of the person who invented it because I was like, it's the simplest mobile game, and it was like just one person. I think they were in like Thailand or something, right? And then
Vietnam.
they had to shut it down. Vietnam. They were just not used to the outpouring of like just world national media attention on them and the millions of dollars that were apparently being generated by the game and all this kind of stuff.
Well, he didn't sell the rights. He has nothing to do with any of this. What happened was a company noticed he wasn't using the trademark anymore. So they filed in court to take over the trademark and used his own words about how he's never doing Flappy Bird again in the court filing to take over the abandoned trademark. And then a bunch of fans bought it from that company who took over the trademark.
Okay, as long as the fans got it, then I'm okay with it.
Well, that's exciting.
And they're
I'm
able to use
really excited about this.
They're able to use the
it sounded very predatory at first, but yeah, that's good.
Yeah, they're able to use the graphics, like the Flappy Bird character, because the guy who made Flappy Bird sort of not really stole, but he was inspired, quote unquote, by another mobile game that was almost the exact same thing, but didn't get very popular. So they're working with that guy, the guy who was the inspiration for Flappy Bird.
Oh, okay. Huh. Welcome full circle. Love it. Love it. You know, I feel so tired today. We just had a debate 2 days ago. We really had this long ass stream, and now we're back. It's like this kind of feels like extracurricular activity since we already had a stream this last, Tuesday.
Yeah, but a debate stream is never a leftist mafia stream.
That's true.
No, that's true. Completely different.
It's mostly laughing. I was just watching. I don't know if y'all have seen the Breakfast Club interview with Jill Stein.
Should we watch some of it? Because I have not seen it.
Is that safe for YouTube?
It's not. I had to stop watching it because I got a copyright strike warning, so that's why I stopped.
Yeah,
but you can definitely watch the two clips that both Jill and AOC are throwing at each other without any trouble. Because I was watching it for like 20 minutes before it got that warning, so the clips would be fine.
Watching it for 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden that yellow warning popped up. Like, we have detected that you may have been using copyright material on your stream, and like, please stop.
On Twitch they do that, right? They give you the heads up. I like that about Twitch.
No, that was YouTube. YouTube gave me the heads up.
Oh, it was YouTube. Do YouTube gives you the heads up now too?
Yep.
So you didn't get the strike though. They just warned you would if you didn't stop.
I didn't get a strike. I got a warning on YouTube, so I stopped.
Yeah, all right. I like that. That's good. They should all do that.
What are your thoughts on Jill Stein? You Americans.
My thoughts on Jill Stein?
Yeah.
Waste of time. Absolutely. I mean, listen, people think I say this because I'm anti third party or something. No, please, by all means, I would love a third party that was legitimate. It wasn't a joke. And that could maybe be the Green Party. I'm not saying the Green Party's got no chance. I mean, they already have more infrastructure in place than any other potential third party, aside from, I guess, the Libertarian Party, but that's another joke. But they don't use what they've got. There's no reason why they should be running Jill Stein every year when they are where they are. At least Howie Hawkins was a more realistic candidate.
I have a different view on this. I think that it's not really the parties themselves, it's the system. I mean, it comes down to Duverger's law. We have a majoritarian winner-take-all system. We're just going to have two parties. So you really have to change the system. So that way we actually have a third, fourth, fifth, sixth party. I was really big into trying to get people to change the system back in 2017. There was actually really good legislation. I think it was Don Byers Jr. that sponsored it. I don't really remember, but it was so that way we'd have more proportional representation to the extent that you can do that in in our system. But most importantly, it had ranked choice voting and an end to gerrymandering. It was independent redistricting commissions. Some Democrats have kind of adopted that, but you just have to change the system. And what I've discovered is that there's really no momentum in the country to change the system. And until you change the system and at a minimum get ranked choice voting, you're not going to be able to have a third party that's effective. But I do understand that people think that third parties are necessary so that way they can, cast protest votes or perhaps put pressure on the Democratic Party. I get that. I disagree. I'm of the mind of, it doesn't really matter if you're in a blue state or a red state for the most part, but if you're in a swing state, for me, I would highly implore people to consider, sucking it up and voting for the lesser of two evils, especially in an election like this. But, my philosophy has changed. I voted Jill Stein in 2016, voted Biden in 2020. Earlier this year, I was planning to vote Jill Stein because I'm in Oregon. I wouldn't have done that, even considered it if I was in a swing state. Now I'm going to vote Kamala. It's not, it's a protest vote. So I don't want to shit on people who vote third party because I don't think that they would automatically vote for a Democrat. Certainly a portion of them would, but not automatically. And I think that third parties are useful in the sense that if they're at least getting somebody out to vote, then they can help down-ticket Democrats. So even if maybe Kamala doesn't get that vote, then maybe a Democrat in the Senate will. So I kind of feel...
at this point, I feel like maybe that could have been an argument at some point. But at this point, I feel like if you're voting Green Party, you're not going to vote down ballot Democrat too. Like you're pretty staunchly anti-Democrat at this point. I mean, that's just.
It's possible. Yeah, no, it's possible. But I mean, there are people who do. Like for me, I'm just speaking from myself. Like in 2016, I did vote Jill Stein, but then down the ticket, I voted straight Democrat, basically, with the exception of some independents at the local level. I think it just depends,
I did the
right?
opposite in 2016. In 2016, I was like, I can't not vote Hillary because of Trump, but I had no problem voting for the Green Party candidate who was challenging Chuck Schumer. For the Senate in New York. I mean, that was a safe vote for me in terms of like, Chuck Schumer's gonna lose the Senate,
No, I think that's fair. I just feel like we have this conversation every 4 years, and I just don't even feel like participating in it because if you're voting third party, there's little that anyone could do to change your mind. If you're voting strategically for Democrats, you're not going to be able to change their mind. So in my mind, the only thing that this does is kind of like lead to infighting on the left that doesn't really amount to anywhere. Like I don't find it constructive. But, I say that as somebody who's kind of a fence sitter here, who's been on both sides of this issue. So I guess I'm the enlightened centrist on this issue. But no, I don't think that, I don't think that it's worth having a conversation about when so many people's minds are made up. It's just I just hate that it's so divisive and people are so set in their ways on this. I guess I'm the only one who's no, that's not true. There are others as well. Like Vanguard, they've kind of changed their minds a little bit on this too. But like, I guess it just depends on the election.
Little by little, you become the system.
You just become a shit lib. We're all shit libs at the end of the day, right? I mean, it's true. It's the system. And for me, my level of analysis has kind of changed because I felt like, man, after Citizens United, I was still kind of a sock dam for the most part. So it's like, okay, the only way to change this, since the Democratic Party has been corrupted, is we have to have a third and fourth party. So that is the only way that we can really affect change long term. But as, I kind of became more radicalized over the years, your level of analysis changed. So I'm not looking at parties, I'm looking at capitalism. And it's like, oh, okay, so the same system that corrupted the Democratic Party can corrupt a third and fourth party at some point as well. Capitalism is, the lowest common denominator here. So it's just like, for
you're not
me,
going to defeat capitalism at the ballot. That
Exactly. So like for me, it's not really like, I just feel like what would get me to support third parties enthusiastically is if they specifically try to like organize ranked choice voting initiatives in certain states to make that an option. It's not possible in every single state, but to me that would be really exciting. Like I would actually donate to that, and they could be doing that in certain states. and I'm just not aware of it. But that to me would really get me excited because that's something that can actually make a difference. In Maine, they do have ranked choice voting, and in 2020, the Green Party Senate candidate got 5%, which isn't a lot, but it's a lot for a Green Party candidate. So you can see how changing the system kind of opens the door. So that's just my thoughts. Like, I don't really feel strongly either way. I don't hold anything against third-party people. I don't hold anything against, lesser of two evil people. For me, I'm in Oregon, so I do my best to be responsible.
I see a lot of people get really, really mad whenever Jill Stein is brought up, especially people who are maybe closer to, like, say, progressive or Sock Demi or stuff like that. But when I was watching the first 20 minutes of the Breakfast Club, I really liked how she was just using the platform of the Breakfast Club, as you should when you get any big platform, to talk about issues I never hear politicians talk about. Ending the military-industrial complex. Why don't we ever question the hundreds of millions of dollars every day in Afghanistan costs, but we don't spend money on infrastructure or healthcare? Like, all that is great to hear. I'd like to have that come from someone who's also, because it's completely unrealistic for them to then be like, we believe we have a shot to win the presidency. They kept saying that and going back to that. And,
did they really?
But I was like, mathematically, that's clown shoes, right?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I would accept the messaging a lot more if you were like, we understand realistically we're not going to be able to win, but we're trying to do everything that we can in order to use this platform to spread this message, which is incredibly important, right? And I think on that side, like, I don't have any criticisms for someone who's going to go in the Breakfast Club and talk about the military-industrial complex. That part's awesome.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing, though. They can't listen. As much as we are in tune to how this works, the majority people are not, and they can't get what even noticed to the point where they could get these media opportunities if they don't have a sizable base of people who are going to vote for them because they think there's a chance they could win. That's just the truth. Like, people who vote for the Green Party, I hate to say it, the vast majority are doing it because they think maybe this will be the time they win. They're not doing it to there are a lot of people too who vote just to, like, send a message, but that's not everybody. There are people who truly think, like, this is going to be the time.
Yeah, I mean, I
can't run a campaign.
Hope that's not a big portion,
we're not
because
gonna win, but
you have to be educated. Like, for me, when I voted, it was a protest vote in 2016, but it was also, okay, well, maybe we'll get to 5%. But I think that people don't understand that even if you hit 5%, that's not a sure way to build a viable third party. Because, I mean, Ross Perot did this with the Reform Party. They hit 5%. They did what, the Libertarians and Greens have been trying to do. And you don't hear about the Reform Party. So it very clearly didn't amount to much. You have to change the system. And so, yeah, I don't like this idea that they can win, because it's just not true. And I think that you have to be realistic if you're going to cast a vote for the Green Party, because it's not, our system does not allow that. We have the Electoral College, and even without that, it's still a majoritarian system. So it's really, you can't make that claim, because then you kind of delegitimize yourself.
Right. So that means the reality is that there's really, each election is coming down to just a handful of swing states, right? That's kind of like how the Electoral College in the US works. So that being said, right now it's showing that Jill Stein is actually doing, I don't think better, but doing very competitively with Kamala in specifically swing states where there are large percentages of Muslim and Arab American voters, which means that those, I assume, voters are voting as a protest vote, right? To, like, oppose the Democrats, obviously, complete support of Israel. So I don't think that those are voters, if Jill Stein wasn't in the race, that would default to, Vice President Harris and her campaign, just by virtue of the fact that they're looking for an alternative to either party, right? Fair. So then where, because I've also heard a lot of people talk about why isn't there a working class or workers party in the US, and why that never ever starts. Like, I understand why people like Jimmy Dore suck all the oxygen out of the room for those kind of things, by starting, like, the People's Party or the Jimmy Dore Party or stuff like that, right? But what's the biggest obstacle there in terms of American politics for starting, like, an actual working class political party that represents, the workers? I mean,
there are parties named the Workers' Party in certain states. I mean, there's literally probably over 1,000 political parties across the country. There's national parties, there's state parties. You just don't hear about it because it's the system. You know what I mean? One thing that I will say is that I don't think that the third party spoiler effect, if you're, like, buying into the premise that they do take votes away from the two major parties, that usually is diminished if there isn't, like, a big gripe. like in 2016, there was a lot of dissatisfaction and disillusionment with the Democratic Party. And then, Jill Stein was a factor. She was, a spoiler threat back then. In 2020, Howie Hawkins wasn't really talked about that much because there wasn't this big thing that people were mad at the Democratic Party for. This time it's genocide, which is why Jill Stein is kind of being talked about again as a protest vote. So I think that if the Democratic Party, it's, in my opinion, even if you have criticism of the third parties, the Democratic Party, they can mitigate this by saying, listen, we'll adopt ranked choice voting, we'll try to run on that, or try to win over the third party people. And I mean, if Kamala, I mean, this isn't going to happen, but if tomorrow she came out and said, you know what, I'm going to support an arms embargo, I do think that a lot of those Jill Stein like protest votes would flip to
absolutely.
Kamala. You know what I mean? So it is a product of the Democratic Party's failure as well, which is why I try not to be like too down on people, even if they think that like they can win. That does frustrate me because I want them to be realistic and learn about the system.
But that's why when it comes down to like the Jill Stein doing really well in swing state voters right now, specifically on that one issue, I don't see any benefit to trying to go after people who want to vote for, say, someone other than the Democrats. Whereas like what could effectively really help, the entire Harris campaign here is if she actually took a position on this topic that's like, pulled those voters over. Because the uncommitted movement is ready to support, Vice President Harris and Walz and their ticket, but it's like they've given nothing, right? Nothing to work for.
Yeah, that's key. I mean, I think that's the key point right there. You know what I mean? You're not going to cast a protest vote if you don't have a reason to protest. I mean, to be clear, there's always a reason to protest because the Democratic Party, they're obviously not where they should be. They're not great. But I mean, if there's no glaring issue, if there's no huge issue, then people will be less inclined to protest. And one thing that I do also want to say is that we usually only talk about the spoiler effect with regard to like the Green Party, but Republicans are also concerned about the spoiler effect with libertarians, because if you put like the Greens and the Libertarians side by side, typically they tend to pull more votes away from Democrats, or I should say, let me rephrase that. The Libertarians pull more votes away from Republicans than the Greens do from Democrats.
I would assume Republicans,
Yeah, but I think that people kind of lump in like Libertarians and Greens and just assume that they're both taking from Democrats. At least that's the way it was talked about in 2016, but I don't necessarily think that's the case. This year might be different, though, because we do have two left-wing candidates in Cornell and Jill Stein, and then we have one libertarian candidate on the other side who's not polling that well. So I do think that the net loss will be for Harris, again, if you assume that they take votes away from the two major parties. So this is a little bit of a different election, but yeah.
And isn't RFK Jr. in a position where he couldn't take his name off like one of the places he had to? Was that Nevada or something? Where
I'm not sure. I know it's North Carolina, right? That was
it's North Carolina. You're right. You're right.
16 extra electoral votes that Kamala Harris could pick up. So, yeah, it's funny. I know that in 2020, the Republicans were really pissed off at Jo Jorgensen because she was getting, I don't know if she got more than Gary Johnson. I can't remember. But, one thing that this reminds me of is Trump when he went to the Libertarian Convention this year. And he's like, you can keep getting your 3%. If you don't want to endorse me, keep getting your 3%. And then immediately after Chase Oliver became the Libertarian nominee, he like tweeted about the age of consent. It's like, what? These people are so memeable. I'll just leave it there.
Scratch a libertarian and a pedophile bleeds.
Right. There was a couple of things that happened today. I don't know if you...
I had things prepared for you, Mike. I need.
Do you really? Oh,
I was looking into things. I was pulling things up right now. Perfect. We'd
start with the one and only Marianne Williamson. Deciding
we were just doing that. We just did it. It's done. All right. Next topic you have prepared.
Well, we could talk about the dehumanization of Haitian immigrants in the United States and how they're accused of eating pets and stuff. And that brings me to Marianne Williamson's tweet. Actually, funny, we got.
Oh wait, you said Marianne Williamson. I don't know why I thought you said Jill Stein again. So let's
no.
I mean, to me, they're one and the same, honestly. Yeah, I really thought you said Marianne Williamson. I immediately thought Jill Stein, and I was like, we just did that.
Oh,
No, you're right. Let's talk about Marianne Williamson, and let's talk about she is. Is Rebecca coming?
Yeah, Rebecca
yes.
might want
Then
to chime in
we
because
should wait for her for this.
Yeah, I feel like Rebecca will want to weigh in because Rebecca she's going to be one of the folks who bears the brunt of this dehumanization because she is Haitian. So yeah, we should wait for Rebecca. There's also the which I enjoyed so much, the spat between Marjorie Green and Laura Loomer. Yes. It makes me feel like really gross that I got so much joy out of that, but I'm not gonna lie, it made me very happy.
I sort of missed most of that, but I'm vaguely aware. So let me throw at you what I know, and you could update me with details. So
I just want to know about Arby's. That's what matters to me. Do you know about the Arby's?
I do know about the Arby's.
No, what Arby's?
Do you really want me to explain it though, Lance? That's what I
tell me everything. But wait, let me just throw this out there. So
I'll let you go ahead, Matt.
Laura Loomer had some tweet talking about how if Kamala Harris wins, the White House is going to smell like curry or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and surprisingly,
and it'll be a call center. She said that.
Yeah. She called it. She said Indian.
She said she'll set up a
Yeah.
call center as well because Indian, haha. It's just so brazen.
Yeah. Well, of all people, I was actually shocked to see Marjorie Taylor Greene steps up and goes, "That's disgustingly racist."
Right.
Not
that
so
Marjorie
That's all
Green.
I know. Take it from there. Let me know what I'm missing.
So, there might be a side story that maybe like an investigative journalist like Ken Klippenstein can look into about the multiverse fucking up and switching Marjories from a different like dimension 1B47. I don't know, but so Marjorie, she rightfully calls that racist just 2 days after making racist memes about Haitians eating pets. But it takes one to know one, right? Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man meme. So then Laura Loomer chimes in, and there's a side Laura Loomer story about Lindsey Graham. Don't let me forget about that. So Laura Loomer chimes in. She starts talking about Arby's. That's in Marjorie Taylor Greene's pants.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they brought roast beef into it.
Oh no! I don't want to. We don't need. I changed my mind. We don't need to hear this.
At first I was like, is this a regional thing? Because like I've always, maybe it's just because I've thought of Arby's as being disgusting, right? It's just like when I see the ads, all it looks like is just like shaved meats and nacho cheese. Is there more to an Arby's meal than that? Because that's my understanding of the Arby's experience.
That's basically Arby's, I feel like. Okay. Their curly fries are good, I will say.
I've heard that. I've heard universal defense of the curly fries.
Yeah, there's
some Arby's, whether you're an Arby's fan or not, that the Arby's thing has become like a slang to refer to a woman's private area.
Yeah.
I've heard that before, not from Laura Loomer and not regarding Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So she brought up the roast beef, and then
I also brought up Zangief. I'm really happy about that. I was like, that's a great callback.
I had such a boomer moment during this. I was like, who the fuck is Zangief? And then I saw a picture. I'm like, why does he look like a Street Fighter character? And then my chat, when I was wrecked, they're like, that's the fucking Zangief, dumbass. I'm like, oh, duh. Okay.
But I don't know how well versed you are in Street Fighter 2 lore, but our Marjorie Taylor Greene had an affair with a guy who cosplayed.
No, I know that part. I know.
I had no idea about this.
You know that if you beat the game in Street Fighter 2 with Zangief, the ending is Gorbachev comes down in a helicopter and then talks about how blah 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 communism was won, and then you do a dance and all this kind of stuff.
What?
Like that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
No.
Yeah, we can watch it. I'll send it to you. Hold on.
Okay, I would love to see that. I thought you were going to say that if you beat it as Zangief, Marjorie Taylor Greene comes down and she hands you a fucking QAnon flyer or something. I don't know. So there's another element to the response from Laura Loomer. She claimed that Marjorie Taylor Greene's favorite word to say is the N-word, racial slur. And she said, what if there's a video? Yeah, what if there's a video of this?
Wow.
And they kind of go back and forth for a very this dropped when I was streaming last night on Twitch. Shout out to Brian who sent me the link, one of my mods. And then it was happening like as I was reading through it, and then like hours later they were still arguing, and they were making these gigantic ass long posts just shitting on each other. Then Laura Loomer, you know, was doing the this shoe to Marjorie, where Marjorie's like, I endorsed you, she's a great person. It goes back and forth. But today, after this happened, Lindsey Graham comes in, and I guess he warns Donald Trump about Laura Loomer. And then when I saw that, I made a tweet, and I'm like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I'm like, and Laura Loomer calling out, you know, Lindsey Graham's homosexual lifestyle in 3, 2, 1. And I didn't even notice this until people pointed it out. Literally 3 minutes later, she makes a tweet about Lindsey Graham, and she tells him to come out of the closet. I'm Nostradamus.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know if I'm covering all of it, but there's a lot.
But I was going to say, with Christian Walker basically dropping like a bunch of bombshells that like Elijah Schaefer is a closet bisexual, that he goes all over Grindr every time he comes to Turning Point USA, the guy loves Mancock, all that kind of stuff. That to me, like, you know, I would be like, oh shit, this is a revelation. When it's Laura Loomer, I'm kind of like, she'll say anything to anyone for any reason, right? Like she's got zero credibility on any front. So like, it's not as if this is like, oh my God, she just outed Lindsey Graham or something like that. You know, it's more just like, you know, she's got a tendency of Loomering herself. So don't do that.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
No, that's so true. And the problem is that like, this is legitimizing Marjorie Greene inadvertently, because like in this spat between Marjorie and Laura Loomer, it's astonishing how reasonable Marjorie Greene looks. Like she's making Marjorie look like a grown-up, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm like kind of low-key cheering on Marjorie, and I'm like, yeah, get her, let her cook, fuck her up.
But it's so easy
gross.
To shit on her. Like the fact that she's trying to like, you know, pearl clutch over racism. I'm like, come on, you're the Rothschild lasers, California wildfires. I like Hitler statues. I learned the Holocaust was bad by going to a Holocaust museum. Like,
yeah. Which, by the way, Laura Loomer pointed that out. She's like, you're the Jewish space laser lady. And called her an anti-Semite. So I'm like, wow, also correct by Laura Loomer. Like, what is happening here? Point to Laura Loomer, point to Marjorie Greene. I'm not keeping score anymore, but goddamn.
They're both friends or have done shit with Nick Fuentes. So that's a hit on both of them. Yeah, they both get the Nick Fuentes fucking -1 there. Yeah.
I just don't. It's a lot, but I don't know why I enjoyed this spat between them so much. But it's just it had me feeling really ambivalent, because they're both gross people. Yeah, let them fight. It's just so ironic that Marjorie Greene, of all people, just a couple of days ago, you know, was doing the racism. And now she's like, racism bad, actually. And she was interviewed by Manu Raju of CNN earlier today, and she's like, I just don't think that's what our party represents. MAGA is accepting of everyone. I'm like, excuse me, what the fuck is happening? Excuse me? I can't take it.
AI memes yesterday, the black people eating dogs and cats. Come on. Like you just did that. That was literally, oh my God.
Maybe she's turning a new leaf.
Yeah, you can't do this. This is not an angle that's ever going to work for you. Not with your long history of documented racism, extreme racism. You are the racist.
And if you look at her response, where she called Laura Loomer racist, you know, after you get through all the liberals who are like laughing, you get to conservatives who are like, what the fuck? Calling her a clown, because they're like, we want the racism. We're following you for the racism.
Why'd you get all woke, MTG? What's going on here?
Right, she went woke.
She went woke.
Yeah, it's a strange time. Strange time for sure.
What do you think? What do you think her plan is here? Like, what do you think she's trying to do with that? Like,
Marjorie
honestly, I think what was that?
Marjorie or Laura in terms of plan?
Oh, Marjorie.
Marjorie. Okay. I watched David Dole's video today, and I think that he had a good point. So I did not realize this when I covered this on my Twitch stream, but that tweet about Kamala and Curry from Laura Loomer took place 2 days ago, and then Marjorie made that, you know, that claim that she was racist, the correct claim, like 2 days later. So she maybe saw the headlines that, you know, Laura Loomer was on the plane with Donald Trump for the debate. So maybe she's like an advisor, and Marjorie's trying to get her out of Trump's ear because, one, she's petty and she hates her, but also maybe because she thinks that she's not good on strategy. I don't know. I don't know if Marjorie Greene, is that Machiavellian? Maybe she's trying to find a roundabout way to get Trump to distance himself from her. But I feel like she's been so loyal to Donald Trump. She's been one of his biggest sycophants that she could just be like, hey, this is not somebody who you want to associate with. It's kind of like the Nick Fuentes situation, albeit not as controversial, but still very, very controversial. She said that she's pro-white supremacist before, so you might want to back off this one. So maybe Trump has kind of, marginalized Marjorie. Laura Loomer contends that she's jealous because she didn't get picked as the VP. I also think that's a possibility too. I don't know. It's like trying to figure out what motivates a psychopath. They're both very unhealthy people.
I actually think it's sort of like something you said. I think it's just pettiness that she doesn't like Laura Loomer. Like it's got to be something like that.
That's possible.
Like, like she's pissed that Laura Loomer was on the plane with Trump.
Yeah,
there's Lauren
she
Chen,
wasn't.
No, not Lauren Chen. Sorry, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Laura Loomer. All three of them are like MAGA supporting extreme racists who all kind of hate each other. Like they do not play well together. Yeah.
Also, don't forget all three of them beautiful women.
Cannot forget
Very
that.
true.
Yeah, definitely not living jump scares. Yeah, for sure.
The Laura Loomer photos that I've been seeing of her, like smearing the orange on her face. Why do people in MAGA world do that? I don't understand why they all do the self tanner, but they get shades that do not match their skin tones, and they end up looking like clowns.
I mean, this is the Donald Trump special, right?
It's like
they
the
all
ear
look like
thing.
Daddy, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun. What else happened this week?
Do we have any video? Let me see if we got any video. Hold on. I have some video, maybe. Hold on. Let me check.
Well, I sent a video to the chat, by the way, if you want to see the ending. To Street Fighter 2.
Mike, pull up the video.
Yeah,
that effectively,
did you send it on Twitter? Oh, here we go. Okay.
No, it's in the chat right here, buddy.
Well, I can't select it in the regular chat because then it'll just highlight it on the screen. But I do have it. Let me see. God, I don't know why I could not remember this guy's name.
What?
How is this real?
Comrade Zangief, you have made your country proud and shown that the Soviet spirit can overcome all obstacles.
Wait till you see
now
the dance.
it's time to celebrate in the appropriate Russian fashion. Mr. President, you dance very well. Well, stay in shape. Come on. Everybody dance. That's pretty great.
I can't believe this is real.
People are asking, is that real? I can confirm that is 100% real. I used to own various versions of Street Fighter 2. I've beaten it with every character on the consoles. That is the end. Yeah.
Oh my god. I know that there is in the Castlevania, I think it's the Game Boy game, there's like a character with a swastika on it, and then they changed it for the West. Somebody said that when I was playing it on Twitch. I bought like the Castlevania.
They're called Castlevania Adventure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, somebody can fact check me on that. It was like, I don't remember what it was, if it was a boss or just little enemies, but they had a swastika, I believe. Very, very, very interesting. I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Let's play this. This was funny. That I haven't watched all of it, but I
Can
do
you
wanna
bring it
watch
in? Are you able to?
Oh,
Because I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Oh, well then, why am I gonna play it if you're just leaving?
I'll laugh. I came to laugh.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll still
let's see
listen.
all right, let's see what I got here. Hold on. All right. Do, 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 do.
What were you going to play?
Hold on.
Is it the MAGA T-Swifty fans burning all their T-Swifty gear? Because that's pretty funny.
All right, are you watching? I can't see if I is it there? Yeah, okay. At the stage. All right, hold on. Let me zoom in here. How do I
Oh,
zoom
the
in on
Megyn
the thing?
Kelly. The two arrows, you got it.
Candidates take on the topics.
Wait, did you just hear that when it was playing?
I heard it, yeah.
All right, cool. So here we go. This is what Megyn Kelly, after she finds out that Taylor Swift is endorsed Kamala Harris, as if it was a big surprise to anybody that that's who she was going to endorse.
Taylor Swift just endorsed Kamala Harris. Taylor Swift, yeah. She posts a picture of herself with her cat. Would you look at this? You can, of course. Like you can kiss your sales to the Republican audience goodbye, Taylor. Hope you enjoyed them while you had them. And this is what she posts. Like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. If you haven't already, now's a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances these candidates take on the topics that matter to you most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about the proposed policies, etc. Recently, I was made aware that an AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run was posted to its site,
so
blah,
good.
blah. And the simplest way to combat misinformation is with the truth. I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I am voting for Kamala because she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. I think she's a steady-handed, gifted leader. And I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of her running mate, Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. Oh my God. So this woman is fine with his plan to take custody of the children from parents who don't want them to chop off their body parts and put them in Minnesota court's custody so the body parts can be chopped off and they can be sterilized outside the custody of their parents. That's what led Taylor Swift to endorse him. Can I tell you something? I criticized her about 6 months ago when she came out strongly in favor of, she went to a fundraiser to raise money for Hamas, supposedly Palestinians, but the group that was doing the fundraising was known to funnel the money to Hamas. And I said, people should boycott her. It was an offhanded comment. People went nuts. Some lunatic dropped a note in my personal mailbox outside my house begging me not to boycott Taylor Swift, as though I have that power. I'm allowed to criticize Taylor Swift, and I don't give a shit who gets upset. This is disgusting. If she wants to vote Harris Walz, she can do it all she wants. But to say the reason she's doing it is because of Tim Walz's stance on LGBTQ, F you, Taylor Swift, and F all of the people who want to see these children have body parts chopped off and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then will ride off to their multi-zillion-dollar mansions. Never.
Hang on. First of all, she's like, listen, you could vote for Kamala, but how dare you say you're going to vote for her based on a policy? And then she's like, all these people are supporting body parts being chopped off before the age of consent. Hey, Megan, do you want to know what they do to a majority of boys when they're born? They circumcise them. Is that not like a surgery that is irreversible, that's beyond the pale, that's also gender affirming, I guess, kind of? Like, she has shit to say about that. What a psycho, though.
It's just cope. Like, their reaction even before anything. Like, the second Megyn Kelly announced that Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala, like, they all, like, scoffed. But, like, it came off as, like, insane cope. Like, they know exactly what that's going to do. That's
330,000 registrations. That's what it did.
That's and in the first like day or two, like they're pissed. They're pissed. They didn't think, unless you were Donald Trump, you didn't think that Taylor Swift was going to come out and endorse you. But maybe they assumed that she would keep quiet. Listen, you could criticize Taylor Swift for sure. I'm not Megyn Kelly over here who's going to get mad at you. You can do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Criticize her, like her, dislike her. I don't care. But like the idea that, her endorsement isn't going to have at least some impact. Like, I can't tell you how much of an impact, but it's certainly not going to be a negative impact like for Kamala Harris. I mean, they're pissed. That's what this is. This is coming off as insane cope, and now she's got to be. How do you deal with it? You got to just. She's the enemy. Taylor Swift's the enemy now.
Yep.
That's
and
that's how they're acting.
Who didn't know this, by the way, because I remember when I played this, other people were like, I thought Megyn Kelly was like more of a centrist Fox News host who was like had a lesbian friend and was actually kind of, you know, decent on LGBTQ plus stuff. She had a massive, like she's an example of the TERF brainworms in action where she went full transphobia and has not looked back. And she's become like deranged as a result. Like every single time that she speaks about these issues, she goes from 0 to 1,000 so fast. Someone can be just like
right now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like right now, just to immediately be like, so she's fine with mutilating and chopping off boys' penises and turning them into like that never used to be Megyn Kelly. She wasn't that extreme, you know, on LGBTQ plus issues. She is now. And like, you know, it just is kind of like same thing with Graham Linehan, same thing with like, you know, J.K. Rowling, same thing with so many people who go down the TERF rabbit hole. You change forever because you have to align yourself with a lot of unscientific, like terribly ghoulish, horrifying people along the way. And you can't at any point admit you're wrong because once you do, it's like your entire worldview starts to collapse.
It's almost like
so
a form
two
of
things
QAnon.
really
It's
bother
so
Megyn
culty.
Kelly.
It is like
what was that?
No, I was saying like the transphobia TERF shit is almost like a form of QAnon with how culty it is and how much they get obsessed with it. Like I don't think like homophobia obviously was very, very vicious and still is, but I don't remember them being like culty, you know, and obsessed to this extent.
I mean, to care so much,
rebranded as a trans panic, right? It's like it's the same way people used to talk about gay people so extremely, like they all have AIDS. If you touch one, you get disease. They're coming over here and they're giving people like all that kind of stuff has now moved over to it's now socially acceptable to say that about trans people. So like you know, that's why you get people saying like, oh yeah, I was sexually assaulted because like she didn't tell me she was actually a biological male and stuff like that. Like this is a lot of the same tactics.
Brain damage.
You know, I just want to point out that like it is a cult. Like it 100% is a cult. Like to care so much about essentially a very small percentage of the population, and then declare that like they're taking over and they're after your children. It is a cult. It is insane.
Or they have institutional power, or there's a gender
like
lobby,
it is
or
absolutely
like
right. It's like trans people are in our society and in our politics, in policy, and likewise, they're easily like among, if not the like most marginalized group out there. Like there are people who are consider themselves to be liberal and care about all these issues, but they could also be transphobes. I mean, that's where the word TERF comes from. I mean, honestly, TERF is sort of transformed into just basically anyone who's anti-trans. When I was, you know, a young, I remember the term TERF was used like explicitly for like literally like explicitly used mostly with like people who consider themselves to be left-wing activists or like punk rockers or anyone who is like left of center, who was like pretty progressive on all issues except transgender issues. And they became like on that one issue, they were like insane conservatives. For me, that's where that word TERF was always used when I was younger. Like and then now it's just used to like basically describe any sort of anti-trans person, which is fine. It's a good word to do that for. Like the that word is fine. I'm just using that example. Like that's how insane people get when they consider trans people. I guess
people literally throw their entire families away, you know, and their careers and their legacies for what? You know, when you listen to Graham Linehan, like creator of the It Crowd, cry on camera where he's like, they took everything from me. They took my family because I wouldn't believe a woman could have a penis. It's like, you just sound so strange and obsessed. And like, why the fuck? Why would you lose your wife over this? You Google this, look it up once. You're like, a woman cannot have a penis. Okay, fine, Google it. And be like, oh shit, I was woefully uninformed on this topic. I'm learning a lot. Maybe we shouldn't be genital essentialists or something. But instead it's like, I'm willing to just firebomb my entire family. Like, fuck them. Yeah, they don't understand the truth. Yeah, that's why it's like you're right to call it QAnon, Mike. It is similar in that it is like you have to be. It's all based in unscientific bigotry, so you end up going down a rabbit hole of like, well, what else was I lied to about? Is the world actually round? You know?
Yeah, it's just it's so unhinged. The level of obsession is just I can't understand it.
Let's finish playing this clip, and then Mike, you have a clip too, right? Let me just finish playing this. I don't know how much longer it is.
Feel free.
Smaller mansions, never to think of them again. Right off to their multi-sterilized, under the body parts chopped off, and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then we'll ride off to their multi-gazillion-dollar mansions, never to think of them again. Emily, this is unbelievable. The left is losing its mind. She signed it Taylor Swift, childless cat lady.
I love how the lady in the middle is just like, yes, very sophisticated point. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're crushing it. Let her cook. Like, what? That's fucking insane. Everything she's saying is so insane. I mean, I can't. So Megyn Kelly.
I love how she's looking at the camera going, they're gonna chop your kid's body parts off. They're gonna chop them off. And then she goes, Emily, the left is going insane.
As Kamala would say, talk about extreme.
Yeah.
That's how you respond to them, but with a less gay laugh. The way that Kamala did it was perfect. I can't do it not gay. But speaking of homosexuals, Megyn Kelly's one gay friend.
Mastered the segue.
I'm so fucking good at this shit. I'm not delirious for
a homosexual. This is more like speaking of tokens, right? It's like every conservative's one gay friend. I put in quotation marks because he's still not invited to Ben Shapiro's house. He's still not allowed to come to the barbecue. Still doesn't get the gay cake.
He knows what they call him behind his back.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It starts with fa and ends with. Okay, press play. He gave them permission. To be fair. He said that Trump Jr. had permission to call him. Yeah, it's like, okay, bold choice, Kine. Okay, so I think this is about Taylor Swift. I have not watched this yet, but they're still cupping and seething.
I think this is much more an attack on a lot of the dads of America, that you get all of the young girls who love Taylor Swift to kind of dad comes home from work and suddenly he has to be assaulted by them because they support Donald Trump, and it can just hack away again at what's going on in people's homes.
This is why I'm so mad about this. And this is why I went off on her last night. There's a little girl right now in maybe Wisconsin, some Midwestern state, whose parents are going through a divorce. This little girl has acne and is coming into puberty and into her adult female body and is feeling uncomfortable. And this little girl may be on the spectrum. And when she hits 18 and realizes she was just going through normal adolescent strife, but she no longer has her breasts and she has an Adam's apple and she sounds like a man and she looks like a man, and forgive me, but where a normal female clitoris should be, she has something looking bizarre and like a mini penis. Because that's what happens. So specific. She's going to have Taylor Swift to blame. Because supporting that ticket is a blessing on everything I just listed. And so she is no heroine to young girls. She's a danger to them. If she's going to take the power she has, thanks to her singing and her songs about her shitty love life and inability to actually meet somebody who will treat her right, and turn it into a manipulation of young girls on the, in her own words, LGBTQ front, then shame on her. And shame on her boyfriend, lover, whatever he is, Travis Kelce, who was similarly irresponsible in pushing the Pfizer vaccine to his young teenage male fans without a thought for who would be around to help them when their heart-scarring myocarditis popped up as a result of it. These two will be in her Rhode Island mansion, which is the most beautiful, biggest, whitest house you've ever seen on a cliff overlooking the Atlantic, sipping their drinks and saying,
press
let
pause.
them eat cake.
This is so descriptive. The end, right? I hope that they're happy when they're sitting in their big, beautiful,
and it's sitting on a hill,
up on the hill with the beautiful view of the Atlantic, and oh, the stars at night. Oh, the stars. It was so. It's too much. Why did she go on that tangent?
I guarantee you, she lives in the mansion too. Come on.
Of course she does.
Why do you know where she lives? Why do you know how beautiful it is? Do you want it? She's giving real envy.
I think she wants it.
It's like everything else she was saying was like so evil, but then she was like, and then you go up to that beautiful, all white, really big on a hill. Like it was giving. Like, what is this? What did you like? What did I get in on?
Also, what is being with the house being white? Why was that a problem? Like, why? No, can't have black houses. Can't have big white house. Can't have black Santas. Can't have black houses.
They love a big white house, the masses type of house. But Lance, what were you saying? Or what did I just walk into? Like, who is this lady?
Walk into Megyn Kelly melting down.
She looks so different, and she's like, "What is this?"
She's got a lot of gender affirming hair. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
She's really mad at the Taylor Swift endorsement, and she's immediately going to Taylor Swift is now going to encourage young girls who think they're boys to get their genitals mutilated and their breasts cut off. And that's what Taylor Swift has done here, and all this kind of stuff. And when these young girls go through puberty, they'll wake up and realize they've been transformed into weird men, and then just started describing the penis surgery. I don't know. It was just like she's lost her mind, and it's all over the endorsement.
What was she going on about? Where when a teen girl in Wisconsin with acne and whatever, she went very specific, autistic on the spectrum, very specific.
It's questioning who she is.
With an Adam's apple.
I gotta go look at her.
And a weird thing she said where her privates should be. Like what is she like? Insanely specific. And what is she talking about? Does she think that Taylor Swift is like brainwashing children via her music or something? Like an endorsement. You think that teenage girl is gonna do all that because Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris?
When did she get like this? She looks like a Beverly Hills housewife, like the show. She when did this happen? Like, when did I miss this whole transformation?
Derogatory.
Like, I'm shocked about it. But anyway.
That specific part that she was talking about, the really fucked up thing about that is that what I try to explain to people, and what sometimes switches like some of my more like, conservative relatives' brains on this, is that they're like, oh, I'm just so scared of kids getting mutilated when they're going through puberty and all that. I was like, that's not how it works. It's not like the second you're like, I'm questioning whether I think I'm a man or a woman, they're immediately like, oh, okay, well, chop off the penis. It's not like that. You go through so many phases. In fact, in a lot of cases, it's years and years and years of trying to make sure that it's like consistent, that you are not, like there's a lot of stuff in place for this entire process.
Nobody's going to fact check this.
Yeah,
nobody's going to fact check this. It's going to be something that people take.
That's the narrative they have. It's like a revolving door. Like you just walk in and you're like, I might be gay, and they're like, chop off the genitals, you're trans or something like that. That's not how it works, like at all. That's so wild that they're starting to like sell people on that idea.
Yeah,
I do have a clip from Donald Trump.
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Like, does she think that's Taylor Swift? She's doing that to the teen girls. She's telling them up front. They're the reason they're turning trans. That's what that song's about.
All because she said that she's endorsing Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Now she's public enemy #1 for a while. And Trump also, I don't know if he tweeted this or said this, but I saw it from Newswire on Twitter. He said that she could pay dearly for this. So he wants to piss off the Swifties.
I saw Elon wanted to impregnate her now. That too. That was
weird. Elon wanted to impregnate her. That was something else.
That was pretty gross.
Yeah. So the audio on this is very, very bad. Just a forewarning. But this is what Trump said at a Moms for Liberty event. This is like the logical conclusion to their hysteria about kids getting transed.
Things that almost nobody in this room wants, who I think 85-90% of the country doesn't want if they actually agree. But the transgender thing is incredible. Think of it. Your kid goes to school and comes home a few days later with an operation. The school decides what's going to happen with your child. And many of these childs 15 years later say, what the hell happened? Who did this to me? The things that...
Yeah, so this was so wild to me because I initially read this and then I listened to it and it was so much worse hearing him say it. But he's contending that your kid goes to school and then I'm assuming the biology professor performs a bottom operation on them, unbeknownst to them, because 15 years later, they're asking what the hell has done to me. And the parents don't know. And yeah, this is happening at school. They're offering free trans healthcare at schools. And he also said the child's, this is like he said this again at a rally. So this is where it was always going to go. This is where it was always going to go. He's saying they're doing sex change operations at schools. They're eating pets. They're giving surgeries to immigrants who are trans. Like, what am I missing? So much more dumb shit. Windmills are causing cancer. Windmills, excuse me, are causing cancer. There's so much shit. I can't keep up with it.
Yeah, that it's all bad. And the way that it hits the internet or people just run with it without any fact checking, even if the fact checking is present, they still are going to be like, no, but Trump said, and so that makes it Bible, or this, and it's always something that they want to reiterate or reinforce their bad policies, and so if this is something that's going to make their racist policies or talking points sound good or feel good, then they're going to be like, oh, look at that, a one-off situation that got nothing to do with nothing, and they'll make that be the end-all be-all for that. And people will, like, the fact that Donald Trump started in the debate with the immigrant talking point, which we know he was going to go for. And the fact that he started with that, about them eating pets, and that's not true, 100%. And then them, we know who he was talking about when he said them, because JD Vance is the one that brought that stupid ass lie out, all because of a video, which the video, they already said there ain't no Haitians in that video that started this whole thing. And then if the mayor, the police department, everybody, all of the representatives in that city are saying that that's what they're saying isn't true, and Donald Trump is yelling it into the microphone and saying that's true, they'll still believe it no matter what. And what happens here is that it becomes dangerous. It's not only that with all of these lies that he spread. I remember when the whole thing, when the babies were murdered last year at the school in Uvalde, and they blamed it on drag queens. Yeah. And so many, we know what already happens in to people who are part of the LGBTQIA community. We know that we had to deal with them with the same situation, a mass murder, and they want to attack and planned attacks on people for what they look like or who they love. And here we are with this rhetoric coming about, which I have a lot of things on because I am Haitian, and the reinforcement of a 90s talking point where I used to have to fight because of this same talking point that was from Americans themselves. They made this whole thing about we eat cat, and that's how they used to bully us in school, and we would have to fight and all this other stuff. So this ain't nothing new. So that's why when I see the videos of people who are laughing about it, a lot of Haitians don't like it. Neither do I, because while they think that they're laughing about it, whatever, it's Americans that made that. Americans themselves made that lie in the 90s, and we had to move around with that, and people would tell us that all the time. So Donald Trump bringing that out, a lot of Haitians, we had to fight for our lives for that stupid ass comment, bringing it back in 2024, and now these new Haitians that came here and went over there to go, they went specifically to this part of Springfield, or in Springfield, because they had places that they can work. So these Haitians went there. Some of them are in Indiana. They have warehouses and places that they can get work, that they felt safe at, that they weren't going to get like bumped by immigration or bothered by anybody. They can peacefully go there. And now these rumors are there, and people, now Haitians' lives, like, they are afraid for their lives because people are threatening them.
There's a bomb threat today at the city council in Springfield.
Yeah. And so all of that is happening right now. Their kids, that they came here for a better life. Their kids are in school. They told them, you know, that day, especially after the incident, this week alone, they're like, my kids can't go to school. You know, my kids can't go learn. I can't go to work. I'm afraid. All of this stuff. And I'm all because of this lie that JD Vance, when interviewed by Yamiche, who used to be at PBS, but by Yamiche, who was a Haitian reporter, she asked him, she's like, so it's been like debunked, that rumor that you put out. So do you still think that? He kept saying, no, they are. In fact, the Haitians are. What came out isn't, I mean, they might have said that, but does that make it true? The city might have debunked it, but does that make it true? He doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on it. You know why? Because Haitians are so hated. They're like the most hated immigrants in America. They literally, right with Mexicans, they literally knew that if they created this talking point, especially about immigrants, and they know how the right feels about it, they knew if they sat on this talking point and utilized it, hyped it up right before Donald Trump went in this debate, that would be great, because they know how America feels about immigrants, and they know how they feel about Haitian immigrants, especially right now, and make it feel like they're stealing jobs. He reiterated that lie as well, that these immigrants are stealing jobs. What jobs are they stealing? Nobody was working these jobs. They just went to go work. That's it. They didn't steal any jobs. And just making these lies up, putting people's lives at risk. We've seen it happen when he called during COVID, called it the Chinese flu. And Asians were being beat up in the streets because of it. So these things lead to consequences.
Excuse me, Rebecca. It was the Chinese virus.
And the Chinese, and it's terrible. And it's like, I hear these things, I see it in the jokes that are being made online. It's so funny because I'm like, I get that people think that they're being allies when they make these jokes, but it's reinforcing the damn stereotype, because it's like, we take it, a lot of Haitians are trying to take the content as well, and they're making jokes about it, but then at the end or at the beginning, they put the facts in there and they reiterate that we do not eat cats. And then I saw that lady Marianne Williamson, whatever, whack ass lady.
We were
her bald-headed ass. She this old heifer that wants to be J.K. Rowling so bad. She does white witchcraft, and she said because of voodoo, that makes it right to say that. And voodoo is one of the Haitian is a Haitian religion, right? And it's one of them, and not everybody practices voodoo. It's in Haiti. It's just not but it's out of Haiti, right? And she said and voodoo could be in a lot of different places, but they said because they practice the religion in Haiti, they brought that here, and now they're eating cats. That's not how it works. That's not what it's about. And that's why I'm like, putting out this false rhetoric is crazy business. Like, especially Haitians that come here, me knowing, because I come from, I'm a product of immigrants. I know that the first thing that they do when they come here, they want to keep their heads down. They don't want to break the law. They don't want to be in no trouble. They want to work so that they can get a place to stay. They want to get their own house. They want to own something. That's what they do. And to put this out there and for her to say, to listen to these people, I only seen a few videos with the number of people that you guys are saying in Springfield, Ohio. Why isn't the people in masses coming out? And it's like they keep saying, watch the videos, and it's the people of. If it was, and they would be out there at these press conferences. Ain't nobody outside. Ain't nobody beating down no doors. Like nothing. And when they're talking to the officials are debunking all of this stuff. It's the same thing when you go to these cities, and it'd be like the group of Trump people. They're just really loud. That's all. They're just the small group of people. They're really loud, and they're really wrong. So
I saw the video that everyone's sharing, like all the right wingers, Benny Johnson and all of them. They're like, "Oh, no evidence, huh?" And then they show this video. That video, in the first 5 seconds, it's by a YouTuber, has slurs dropped immediately. Some guys like, "Hey, San N-words," that's in the first like 3 seconds, and then it just like it keeps on going. And it's like, wow, you interviewed some local racists who are like, "Yeah, I saw the online rumors. It sounds terrible." And then there's another clip of a guy at like a town meeting talking, the one who's dressed like Mario, who's talking about how he's like, I had heard about someone stealing a goose or something. But I was like Rebecca was saying, if you look, the police have said there are absolutely 0 incidences of Haitian immigrants stealing animals or trying to cook them or taking them from white families. That's all completely unsubstantiated.
It's probably a fucking raccoon that took a goose or a duck, like
or anyone, or a cat ran away.
It doesn't matter. Even if it was a one-off.
Right,
like,
a one-off doesn't even make it like
It
generally
doesn't.
applicable.
Also,
it's so
why
insane.
do conservative listen? Obviously it's all ridiculous, but like the cat and the dog thing makes sense from a certain perspective in terms of why they're focusing on that, because people love their pets. They look at it how they could. But what the fuck is this goose thing? Since when do they care about wild geese? These are the guys who are all about hunting, right? Why do they have a problem with people hunting geese?
Yeah.
I have a problem with it because I'm not for hunt. I'm not for that. If it was true, but it's not. But why do these guys have a problem with it? Only because it's the Haitian immigrants supposedly doing it. These are the guys who go hunting. Trump has pictures. There's pictures of Trump's kids killing wild lions.
I mean, these are the same people that are shooting raccoons in the backyard and cooking them up. Like these are the same people that are doing like shooting deer, after they hit it in the street or whatever, and cooking it up. Like we can say a lot of things, right? Y'all worried about. Yeah, and this is a lie. Let me be clear. Even though I'm saying this stuff or whatever, the truth, this ain't the truth. None of this stuff happened. They literally debunked that. If the people in the original video that JD Vance was pushing out when he pushed out this false rhetoric, they clarified and said, want no Haitians in there. They clarified who the people were and all of the above. And they still continued on with the false rhetoric. And that pissed me off the most, that no matter how much this thing has been debunked, every single thing that they said surrounding this has been debunked, and they continue on to double down. People are really crying about this, and they wanted to focus on this because you're right, Matt. Like I said on Tuesday, white people love their pets a lot. And I said this before, Black people love their pets too. That's a new thing. But white folks don't play about their dogs, about their cats. And here we are, and they knew, let's make immigrants the problem. Let's make them the center of drug issues. Let's make them the center of, they're going to take your pets. They're going to eat your pets. They're going to walk up to you, steal your pet, whatever. And I'm like, y'all don't even know. A lot of people think this is a new rhetoric, but this is a rhetoric that was created by Americans. And I had to hear that all in the 90s, most of my time in school. And we had to fight because of it. They would walk up to us in stores, whatever, and say this to my parents, to me, to whatever. This is not nothing new. So hearing this again, and then people literally, especially in the time right now, people love their pets. Why? And now you're going to make it seem like Haitians are a threat. They wanted to keep their head down. Haitians are doing nothing right now. It was silent in this moment.
They're not doing nothing. They saved the economy of Springfield, Ohio.
Yes,
They
right.
revitalized it. They revitalized the economy.
That video you shared, Rebecca, of that guy in the factory is like, I wish we could have more immigrants. Actually,
I
like,
love Haitian workers. They show up
Yeah.
on time. They go to drugs. They go to church every Sunday.
Yeah, it was
love
that.
them.
It was
They
really
love
that. Do I like it was also stereotypical, but at the same time, I'd rather that. Because they are here. They did fix their economy here. They worked. Nobody wanted to work there. And it was the people came there, they keep their head down, they work, they do what they need to do, they get their money because they want a better life. They will do whatever it takes for a better life. They will do whatever it takes to get them to a place where they can have a better life. So that's where the situation lies. When I see it, I get really upset. I get really frustrated. And especially right now, I thought it was going to die down, and people have been doubling down on it. And I love my allies, but they're getting it wrong with the joking about it, because it's like, don't do that, because now it's like, you know who's sharing those videos? The people who are saying that we're eating the pets and all of that stuff. And this is not nothing new. Again, this rhetoric comes from America, and it's the best way they knew how to beat us down. And it hurts. It really does, because it's like, it brings us back to that moment. And here we are trying to defend ourselves over something so stupid, and then defend our family members who just got here trying to figure out their life. And they thought they were settled. They moved there for a reason. They had a plan, and they helped that little city that nobody heard about. It just goes down to xenophobia and racism. Them white folks don't want them people there. They want to blame every issue. Talking about they crashing into folks. In Haiti, do you know that we drive on mountains with no kind of barriers on the side? And like we will... That's not the case. The thing that they're trying to make up is not the case. The guy on the mic trying to act like he know about Haitian culture, saying this is what they're used to, being like basically us being barbarians. This is our lifestyle in Haiti. A lot of people don't do their research. And one thing I'm not going to do is go back and forth with people. I'm going to say what I need to say online. I'm not going back and forth with anybody about nothing about Haitian culture. Google is free. It's free. And if you really wanted to know, especially with the officials debunking all of these claims, there's nothing else for you to go find.
I will say one of the more heartening things maybe though is that everyone has clearly, like the vast majority of people who, like what's come out of that debate for the vast majority of people is Trump citing they're eating the pets, they're eating the dogs, but him looking insane and sounding insane while doing so. Like the majority of the country is not using this as an example of this looks bad for Haitians because they don't believe it. The majority of this country are using that clip because they're looking at Trump and going, he sounds crazy. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Because this conspiracy theory that the right is pushing about Haitian immigrants is so in their little bubble. Like this isn't a mainstream thing. I guarantee you, like 99% of the people watching that debate, he started shouting about this. We're like, what the fuck is he talking about? I've never heard this before. This is
he had to
insane.
make it a point.
Yeah, totally. Well, it's when people say Twitter's not real life, what they mean is that it's populated by real people. But if you get 50,000 likes on a tweet that's super racist, like towards Haitians or something like that, that doesn't mean that's indicative of what everyone else feels, right? Like in this little space on the internet, globally, you found 50,000 people who like your racist like statement, but that doesn't mean like the average American voter is watching Trump say that, like you just said, and being like, oh, I didn't know that, but he's got a point. I'm going to look this up now about these.
They will literally, it's so crazy. But what I will say is, and with, to your point, Matt, people are, finding it to be ridiculous. And that is what I'm happy about, because usually when we're in the news, it's always negative, and they want to, and because, like I said, we had the audacity to free ourselves, and they've just been on our necks ever since. And they always want to perpetuate this false rhetoric and push that around and all this other stuff. And but I do see how people are like, yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts. But the people who are not in Springfield, Ohio, and who are super duper Trump supporters are online, like crying about it, like up in arms, like, oh my God, like they need to listen to the people of Springfield, Ohio. They have to listen. Like, were you listening to them before last week, this week? Did you give a damn about people of Springfield, Ohio? You didn't care. So like, it's this element of outrage and the rage baiting and all this other stuff. Like, that really is, it's tough to see. That's why I ain't ever really on Twitter, but somebody had sent me that tweet from Marianne Williamson, and I had to get on Twitter for that reason, because I'm like, I don't even be on this app. It's full of hate, it's full of terror. Like, this is the only place I see where these people love to spread their hate. The right, they love it. And Donald Trump's tweeting like, him doubling down on it. I hope that people, like you were saying, Matt, remember that moment in the debate, and how that was how he started it off, and like he went straight there. And I love that the moderator was like, yeah, no, we checked, and we know you was gonna say that, and we called Springfield, and they said no. And he's like, no, they are. They're no, they said no. They literally said no. And he still was like trying to make that a point, because he had nothing else. He knew if he could grab onto the immigrant conversation, grab onto the animals, specifically the pets, join it together, pin it on somebody, he knew that would be his strong point. And it actually made him look dumb as hell. It really did. But the same way that he does, the right talks about, like, the fact that they blamed kids being murdered on drag queens. That was ridiculous. That was such a I can't believe that was a thing. And that was a thing here, where they were like, oh, the kids wouldn't have been murdered if we didn't have drag queens. What? And they talked about that in news cycles for like God knows how long, instead of talking about gun control. there are real issues here. So we got to be mindful about these moments. And that's what I say. If people are not looking at that and calling that and saying that this is not fit for leadership, I just don't know about America. But America always,
I know
we get it wrong a lot. And that's why I hope November 5th, we do something else. So
yeah, I feel like this debate was like one of those moments where it's like, how can this even be close after seeing him talking about eating the pets and, you know, surgeries on immigrants in fucking prison? It just, the way that he is so hyperbolic about it, I just feel like you should just on its face understand that he's full of shit. He looks like that psychopathic, you know, uncle that we all have in the family that posts shit on Facebook that's unhinged, these conspiracy theories. It's so like disqualifying. And so the fact that this is like close, it just really is a little bit demoralizing because like, America, are we okay? Like, really? I get having issues with Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party, obviously, but like, when the opposition is Donald Trump, it shouldn't even be close. Like, this man should be so disqualified, but like, people are pretending like, well, you know, this is going to come down to the economy and inflation. It's like, okay, the dude wants to overthrow democracy. The dude is a fucking idiot. All he talks about is, you know, his own personal grievances. How is this even remotely close? Like, it should be 90% Kamala, 10% Trump at most. Like, if we're a sane society. If you look at polls from other countries like Japan, where they'll ask them, do you prefer Kamala or Trump? That's what it looks like. It's like 76% Kamala. Like, because everybody else is like, yeah, the dude's a fucking dunce. So it's just, it is a little bit depressing.
To be fair and or balanced, though, that might be just like your because in Canada, the same polls are just like that. They show like, you know, obviously overwhelming support, not for Trump, but for Kamala. But in Canada, we're about to vote in like a conservative majority. So at the same time, it's like, I don't know how you both support, you know, the Democrats and also want to bring in a right winger domestically, but it could just be part of it.
Yeah. My window just went down. Okay, window's back up.
The window just went down?
I was like, I hope nothing crazy pops up in your background. You may want to shut off the camera. I wasn't sure. So, yeah.
I should open the window, get some air in here. Very real.
I like your t-shirt.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, we're hearing you many times in a row, Mike. I think you're
Is that me? Hello?
Yeah.
It sounds fine on my end.
No, he just said thank you. He said that himself.
I did echo myself.
It sounded like an echo, honestly.
Yeah, he said it himself.
I was looking for some videos to play, so I didn't see you.
No, but people are expecting. Did you guys see Usher on The View? I want to say it was, and people are upset that he didn't, because they asked him, like, you know, one of the hosts, and I forget her name, she was like, you know, why, she was basically saying how Donald Trump ain't no good, you know, and why Kamala's great. And what is your take on it? And he's like, well, you know, I didn't watch the debate. And I feel like if you know, just find out who you want to vote for, whatever. People are upset about it. That somebody put in the caption, breaking, Donald Trump refuses, I mean, not Donald Trump. Fuck Trump, but Usher refuses to I guess endorse or support Kamala Harris. And I'm like, that's not what happened. But I will say, we gotta be careful with putting all of our trust into celebrities to lead us somewhere. He didn't say anything bad about her. He didn't say anything good about her. He didn't say anything bad about Trump. He didn't say anything good about Trump. But looking for celebrities to be our guiding light in politics, let it go. Because I've said this before. If we are looking, because I remember when they wanted Beyonce to come out and endorse, and I want Beto. Out of Texas, whoever that was, Beto. I might be getting the name wrong, but they wanted Beyonce, and Beyonce came literally on the day of, like the last day of election or something, and to get, you know, and endorse them. It didn't work. That celebrity thing, it didn't work. So don't look for celebrities to be your guy, like, unless they're saying something like, you know, what's her name? Sexy Red, who was like Donald Trump, he gave money. Just when they're giving misinformation, oh yeah, check their ass. But if you're looking for who they're supporting or whatever the case may be, like people were really mad about that, up in arms about that. Usher refused to support Kamala Harris, and that's why we need to cancel him. Cancel Usher. Like, no, he didn't say that. But that's the type of misinformation that will be spread around by people who swear they're doing good for the left or progressives, but they're utilizing ways of the right. And it's not helpful. It's not helpful.
Yeah,
I just a cult of personality in general, I'd say. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, if you're a Democrat running for Congress and you're like relying on a celebrity's endorsement, you're not doing enough to get out the vote. Like, this is supposed to be grassroots. You can't rely on something like that. Furthermore, I don't want to live in a world where we know the political position of every single celebrity, because the second that I learn about their shitty politics, I hate them. It ruins music for me. It ruins movies for me. So I don't want to know. I think it's fine, but like, I'd rather them keep it to themselves. Like, I want to go to a movie and not be like, oh, that guy's a Trump supporter, because it's hard for me to separate the art from the artist. And it depends. It depends, like, on what they said, right?
John Voight, like
it kind of depends.
You're not losing a lot of A-listers,
right?
I heard about Elvis not being the best, and people still play his music and love his music. A lot of our favorites, especially if they're old school, like the old school songs or whatever. And I love me some music, so I listen to some old school songs and things of that nature. But like R. Kelly, right? Listening to R. Kelly himself can get a little weird for me. But I was such a big, huge R. Kelly fan. But that man done wrote so many damn songs. So many songs. He's in the background. You didn't even know. He's doing the background vocals. Like, it's just, it's tough. But I'm like, as soon as I do know, sometimes I'll be out and they'll be like, step in the name of, and I'll be stepping and I have to stop myself. Like, we do not do that. We do not stop anymore, sis. But yeah, it can be tough. But if the person ain't no good, just let it go. But music I've listened to some really great songs, and then here go me wanting to go do research on people from the 1960s. Was this person racist? Just to go see were they at these, were they calling people N-I-G-G-E? Was this person? And then I'll find some information like I can listen to that person no more. And it'd be like nice blues or something songs, or what, I'll hear it in the commercial and I'll download it, and the history be wrong. History be terrible.
Yeah, it's so difficult. I can't. Kanye West was literally, like I've said this before, he was my all-time favorite like musician, like by a mile and a half. I loved his music. Was a teenager, basically grew up on it. In my later teen years, I can't listen to him anymore. I will say that a couple of his songs have come on my playlist from like the old days, like Graduation and Late Registration. And I was able to listen without skipping, because the way that I rationalized it in my head was that, well, that he was a different person. He wasn't a Nazi back then. This is a different Kanye.
Yeah.
But if something new comes up, I can't even listen to it. I have to change it immediately.
That's why I listen to the Jackson 5, but I don't listen to Michael Jackson anymore.
Oh my God. Like,
Michael was great, right?
Smart.
He was innocent.
Diddy. Yeah. I'm like, I used to be, especially when I go out, like I would be, they always start the spots off with they call it, the early vibes, and they'll play 90s music or some old school jams with some upbeat stuff, and they love to put the Diddy and Biggie, all that in there, and they always know what Rebecca's gonna do. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna Diddy bop. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna do the Mary kick in the air. I'm gonna do all of that, but I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I can't. That man is terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But speaking of Diddy, did you hear that Dawn Richards filed a lawsuit against him too with sexual assault? Good for her. Good for her.
And some people were like, "Oh, why wait so long?" Because they're like, "How you go from Vanity Kane to Dirty Money, and now you want to say all this?" And she put the claims that she's seen him put his hands on, I believe, his ex Kim Porter, and his exes, and he locked her in a car at some point, and wouldn't let her out. He has put himself in front of her naked. Forced himself like in just been in her area naked in her personal space. So these were some of the claims that she made about him, and those are just some because I didn't go through all of them. But yeah, Don Richard, she definitely said that, and I think that we're gonna see more. Then there was the person that's in jail, I believe, is a male, and they won a lawsuit against him. I want to say it was $2 million.
I saw that. Yeah,
it's a true story. Like, they won this lawsuit against him, and they said that he actually went to go visit this person who's incarcerated. They won this sexual assault lawsuit against him, and they're behind bars.
Who won a sexual assault case against him.
Yeah, and won it. And they said that Diddy went to visit them before all of this, and I believe it was to stop him from doing that, but or to clear things up.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was something that came out too about Diddy. So if the person won that, and they're a male.
Yeah, it was $100 million. Oh wow.
Oh, 100 million. I'm over here saying 2 million. 100 million.
He's got to make monthly installment payments of $10 million starting October 1st every single month.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Diddy.
Yeah. Speaking of perverted men, which is a great segue again.
King strikes again.
I feel like we did not talk enough about that. The Elon Musk tweet about Taylor Swift. That is so. I still am shocked by that. It is so fucking.
I'm shocked
creepy.
Tesla stocks haven't bottomed out. Who's still just like, this is a safe bet? He'll turn it around. He'll stop being a Nazi. He'll stop posting anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and pictures of Haitian men eating animals. He'll stop. He'll become a good guy. You know?
He's not a good person. He's not a good person. And the fact that he gets to attack, the fact that this, and I keep thinking in my head, like, this can't be. This is a parody page. It has to be. And the fact that he's utilizing, as the owner of Twitter or X, he utilizes each of his damn tweets, and it's all volatile, terrible tweets.
And that's all you see too. It's like every other tweet.
Yes,
I had to mute him. I muted him, and then I unmuted him because then I missed this tweet. And I'm like, well, man, I might want to talk about that in a video or something. So it's just, yeah, every other tweet, it's him. And then it's just this, like Azealia Banks, I think, said this is basically public sexual harassment. That's absolutely true. Like, this is not normal behavior here. And his own daughter actually called him an incel because of this, which is amazing.
And that's
I can add Azealia Banks to the problematic musicians who like.
She's a very problematic person.
Problematic, yeah.
Can't listen to her, you know. But man, 2 and 2. Like,
what is it with like these bad messengers making good points this week?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's disgusting. He found a way to sexually harass people who aren't his employees, essentially, on a really large scale. Is what he's
Elon
doing.
Musk, yes,
Yeah.
and the people were saying that is definitely virtual sexual assault. Like, why are you talking to people like this? Nobody wants your children. Then your children, like, people, you're trying to. We heard about your situation with your kids. Like, nobody wants you as their father. Like, please stop. And to say that to people, it's
Hey, your existing kids hate you. Like, why are you trying to make more?
Imagine getting clocked by your own daughter again. How many times has she like humiliated him?
And just like blowing. She's like one of the most popular accounts on Threads when she gets like viral tweets too.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said that this was incel nonsense. I think she said heinous incel nonsense. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Like, why does it have to? You can't, like, we can believe in different things, be on other sides of stuff, but this person is literally filled with hate. Every single thing, every post, every conversation, it's like hate. It gives small dick energy, 100%. He hates himself. And so every time he gets upset, he goes on this platform that he owns and he spews out hate. And he can't, like, he's not going. The fact that the hate is just has gone just astronomically out of here on X. And the fact that he's the head of it and he gets to tweet all this BS, there is no one stopping him or checking him or anything. Like he'll tweet out misinformation and I don't see nothing underneath that's checking him. Not one thing, nothing, no fact checking. And I'm like, this is dangerous. It's dangerous. People are just going to say, because of his title as the owner of the app, he ain't lying. He ain't lying. It's Elon. Like he said that. And it's I don't know. Like, I don't know about America.
I mean, he brought back all the Nazis, and on Twitter, I don't know if you all saw, but Tucker Carlson, who has his show exclusively on Twitter, he platformed Daryl Cooper. He's a Holocaust revisionist, like he's a Nazi. Like he says that, you know, basically the Holocaust was an accident, and they didn't mean to kill all the Jews during the Holocaust. It was basically they didn't know what to do with. Like the things that he said are literally Nazi propaganda, and Tucker Carlson platformed him, and this is on Twitter. If this happened on any other platform, he would be banned, like at least a temporary suspension. But like it happened, and Elon Musk retweeted it. He retweeted the Nazi with the interview with the Nazi historian. It's fucking wild to me. It's just become so normalized, which is really horrifying. And it really says a lot that Elon Musk is a natalist, but yet he's anti-immigration. Because if you're worried about like declining birth rates, then immigration is how you prop up the economy. If people are growing older and not having kids, you welcome immigrants. That's how you account for that. But of course, he's racist.
That's the wrong kind of birth, though.
Yeah, exactly. When he talks about like people need to have kids, he's very clearly talking about white people having kids.
Yeah, he's talking about white people having kids.
Well, it's a real emphasis on white. He wants them real white.
Because that's you know what kind of white that is. That I ain't talking about white people. I'm talking about whites. We know. We know.
I hate him so much. God, listen, America can restore my faith in them a little bit temporarily if Trump doesn't win again. If Trump wins again, then I will lose all faith in America. Because that's just, again, understanding criticism of Kamala Harris. If Trump gets elected again, I just genuinely don't know.
And even with the criticisms of Kamala Harris, it still is not enough. Like it's not even like people be saying lesser of no, y'all, because Donald Trump hasn't said what all he said. If y'all want to take like what has he said really for Israel and Gaza? He's just gonna stick beside like Israel. That's really there's no extra, there's no whatever. The man keeps putting out.
He said he wants to finish the job. He's
basically doing what doing.
He wants to annex the West Bank.
Israel.
That's what Miriam Adelson gave him money for.
Yeah, he's gonna make sure that the job gets done. But that's what I'm saying. What else is he gonna do? Like these are the talking points that he's going to keep on going off of. We know that he's always going to side with the ops 100%, but for America, Israel is not an op. It's not. And it sucks that our leaders, we've talked about this before on the show before. That's just one place. It's just not be a strong suit for Kamala. We can't expect her because she's always going to come. She's going to say the same exact thing like it's textbook. On that day on October 7th, Israel has the right to defend itself. All of those talking points that we know by heart.
No one has the right to genocide, though. It's just like I can't vote shame people for that because I understand it. I understand why.
Yeah,
like you can't get past.
Especially if you're an Arab American or you're like a Palestinian American who had family members
and I get it.
Who died. I absolutely get the the protest vote. I will never be like, hey, Trump will be worse. It's like this administration is responsible for killing your family. I can't.
Genocide.
I can't say anything to them.
That's why when people talk about how great Hillary is, you would never find me. I would, even if I wouldn't vote for her if she was running again. Don't like her, wouldn't vote for her. She's like done a lot of bad to my people. And I just don't fuck with her. But so I understand that. But for people who are riding the fence and looking for something bad from her, that to me, I'm like, y'all, let's be for real. Like you weren't even I posted just her reaction on Tuesday in my stories. And somebody tried to come at me about what is she saying? She ain't even saying nothing. No, you're a misogynist. Because I ain't even say nothing about her policy. I didn't even say, oh, Trump was really getting, Trump didn't win that. What did Trump say that made you feel all good inside? And you an immigrant. What did Trump say that made you feel safe? What did Trump say that he's going to do something for your 5-year-old kid? How he's going to protect him? What's the future going to look like for him? Did he say anything for nothing? Exactly. But the misogyny, the people that just don't want to see a woman as president, the racism, all of that, the xenophobia, just because she Indian and Jamaican, all of that we see, the people are going to look for those stupid ass details and say they're not going to vote, and that shouldn't be any reason, because then when stuff starts to hit the fan, then you're going to be like, oh man. And even if she does do a great job, say she sits in there and she does a great job, right? They're still going to pick her apart, when in reality, any leader that we've had, even when President Obama was president, I did not agree with all of his policies. I didn't, but I loved the man. He was fine. I loved the man. I did not agree with all of his policy, and that's okay, because we're not going to agree with a lot of what our leaders are going to do. But we will hold her ass accountable specifically for that. But we need leadership in America. This is how it runs. So.
Obama is the one who he radicalized me, and I think that he's a really important lesson for millennials. And maybe other millennials were a lot more savvy than I was, but I voted for him. That was my first vote. I was old enough to vote.
Me too. That was my
first
vote.
Yeah, I mean, it was a whole moment. Like, me and my dad were crying watching his victory speech. Like, it was like, oh my God, we saw the first black president get elected. This is amazing. And also, he was anti-war. He was against the Iraq War. So it was like, it really felt like everything was coming together. But as soon as the election was over, I just was like, okay, he's got it. That's a lesson learned right there. And then in the second term, that's when I really started to wake up and research the drone program, and how people in Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia were getting PTSD because they'd hear the buzzing whenever it was sunny outside, and they'd see the killer drone. So like, I think that was a really radicalizing moment for a lot of us, that you can't just elect a politician that says good things and then expect everything to be fine. You have to actually hold them accountable. It doesn't matter how much you agree with them. It's in an alternate reality. If we elected Bernie Sanders in 2020, we would have to hold him accountable, because a president is going to represent the status quo, who's overseeing the status quo. Maybe sometimes they're good. Maybe you get an FDR once in a while, but FDR also did Japanese internment. So nobody is, a deity in politics. They're demons. You get into politics because
they're all war criminals.
Yeah, U.S. president. Exactly.
I don't say that to be edgy. It's just like, you look.
No, it's literally a fact of reality.
Yeah.
Americans don't even acknowledge that, though. Like, they don't think that every single American president is a war criminal. They just look back at, like, Bush. No, that literally every single American president is a fucking war criminal, and people don't understand that. And I hate that it's perceived as, like, edgy. But it's true. There was actually
Get that disrespect of Andrew Jackson out of your mouth, Mike. Right now.
There's this clip from a couple of months ago with Morning Joe where he was screaming. He brought on Hillary Clinton, and he was talking about Genocide Joe, and he was like screaming. He's like, how can we deal with these young people who are saying Genocide Joe and who think that Hillary Clinton are war criminals? How do we deal with them? And that's when she made her notorious comment where she's like, oh, I just think that they're uninformed. But it's like, no. We're informed. That's why we think that you are war criminals. So yeah, we're not going to be able to unsee that.
TikTok.
And that's a true like thing to say, because when I voted for former President Barack Obama, I was my first time voting too. I was 17 at FAMU. It was my first full year there, and he had came to the school when he was campaigning, and that was such a big thing for all of us, because we're like, oh wow, this black man's running for president. Like, I never seen that for real, or never really, like, I'm like, okay. And he came to the school, and he came with his wife, and I was like, dang, this is amazing. He would walk through the crowds, and we were like touching his arm, and I'm like, I'm never gonna wash his hand. It was just weird stuff like that. And then when he did win, we were just so excited, all of us. I had a little 1998 Toyota Corolla. It was gold. And we all went to like the parking lot when he won, and we like played the song "My President is Black." Like we were just so excited that our president was black. And then I realized, years later, when I began to work in politics, I didn't think I would. I never would have thought I would work in politics. But when I did get into politics, I realized, that there's more to voting. There is so much more to voting. How does this affect me? How does this affect my mom and dad? What policies am I looking for in a candidate that can better serve me and my community? And then locally, I started thinking, you know what? Like locally, we got to start making some changes too. Like it can't just be hierarchy, or if you know a person. We actually, that person that we didn't vote for was actually really good. They actually had a really great policy. And because we were just taught to just go with what we had and whatever the news gave us. And that was it. When my mom, when she finally got the opportunity to vote, she didn't know who she was looking at on the ballot. She didn't understand what was going on. So I had to sit down with her and school her on getting to know the people locally as well, and a little bit more about the president and their policies, those type of stuff. So it was a major change because I know I was a baby and I was like, it was great to see a black president. And that moment was amazing. It was beautiful. It was great. And that's why right now, when it comes to Kamala Harris, I love that the breaking barriers. I love that she is black and Haitian. I love that. I love that she's a woman, but we can't just focus on that because we still need a leader to do a job. Yeah, so, what can she do for us? And that's what matters.
Yeah, it's the important recognition that there's a real meaningful difference between descriptive and substantive representation. Descriptive representation matters because seeing people in power that look like the people they're representing is so important. Breaking the glass ceiling is important, but substantive representation is where you actually represent them, right? Like just because you're a woman doesn't mean you're going to represent women. I don't think that a lot of women watching will be like, yeah, Lauren Boebert represents me really well, right? So you've got to get substantive representation. That matters.
When you have female CEOs of weapons manufacturing companies, I was like, it's good that there's a multiracial, woman who's in charge of the weapons manufacturing company, but we should probably not have the weapons manufacturing company.
Right. There's more than just having a seat at the table. It's important, but it's not everything. The change, the policies, it matters too. So yeah, I feel like millennials had to learn the hard way, where we thought that politicians would just represent us, and turns out it's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, it was like, we have to
off the Bush years. I distinctly remember, even as a Canadian, everyone was so fucking sick of Bush and the Iraq War. And
I was sad for him, you guys.
Rebecca.
Listen, guys. So I was my heart is just such a different type of thing. It's just crazy. I was a little girl, and then I would be like, they're just picking on him. I know he's my dad would say he was terrible, but when I would just watch, and I just felt like he was so how do I say this?
I gotta say, Rebecca, I've heard many stories of early 2000s teens getting into fights with their parents where they were parents were pro Bush, and the kids are arguing with them about how much she sucks and how they're because they were anti-war activists or whatever. This is the first time I've ever heard of a child arguing with their parents about how leave Bush alone.
That's what I felt like. Because he would be sitting there. He would be sitting there looking like just this sucks. I hate it here, and I'm just making decisions because it's just part of my family bloodline. But I feel like he didn't get that he wanted to be there. But I saw and I remember the picture of Michelle and him hugged up, and I just felt like that's him. He's just somebody who
disgusted me.
I felt bad for him. But he was a terrible parent. He was a terrible president.
In jail. You should be in jail.
Yeah. He was a terrible president. He was. George Bush doesn't like black people. That Kanye, that
I missed that.
Yeah, I missed the old Kanye.
Yeah, I missed the old Kanye.
Yeah. I understand what Rebecca's saying just from from like an innocent kid perspective, because like I was really young before I really like got radicalized against the Iraq War. You know, I was really young, and when I saw the video of Saddam Hussein getting captured, me and my sister both felt really bad because like, oh my God, he looks exactly like that. That's fucking wild. So like, I didn't see. That's literally like that's what I thought. So I'm just like, is he really that bad? You know, like I was like, I'm against regime change, and yes, objectively, he also was demonic. But it's like, you know, if you don't know any better, you just see like, he looks like my dad. This is
that's what he gave. It's like a little white man that just was getting bullied around. He don't like he was making no decisions. I felt like the people were in there like, move out of the way. Like, and then he just had to come and be the face, and then he'll go back there and they're like, you suck. Like his shoes would be never tied. You know, that's what it gave. Like he just didn't fit the description of presidential, but he wasn't like Trump. But then it would be like, I'm just like, I felt bad for him, and that was just. But he was a terrible president, and let's not get it twisted. He's bad. He's terrible.
He's war criminals.
Yes. Yeah.
Should be in the Hague.
Yeah. No, I have. If you
I'm
look at my
shocked what I'm
Instagram,
hearing
there's
on this
pictures of
show.
my dad.
I'm
And
shocked
my dad
at what I'm
looks
hearing
like,
on this show right now. Honestly, we got
I'm
Mike
crying.
right over there going saying how he felt bad for Saddam Hussein.
Listen, he reminded me of my dad, right or wrong. I'll pull up a
George
picture
Bush.
of my dad so
My
you all can
dad-
see. I don't know. Maybe I'm just
No,
reading
see,
too much into
Saddam
it.
Hussein
you
like
saying
that
Saddam
reminded me of
Hussein?
all the times I found my dad hiding in a spider hole.
Wait a minute, Mike. Are you saying that Saddam Hussein reminded you of your daddy?
Yes.
What? Oh, I thought you meant Bush.
Oh no.
Dang, that's a little crazy. Mike, I wasn't expecting that. I don't know.
My dad kind of look. Okay, I'll just pull up a picture. I don't know. Like it might not be
the beard.
Oh no,
The
I remember
beard.
what he looked like when he was taking out the hole. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like this is a picture of my dad when that's me when I was really young.
Oh,
This is
you
my
are
dad.
such a cutie patootie.
Yeah, he's a cute little kid.
Look at your little
I'm not getting
baby.
Saddam vibes. I'm honest with you.
You're not.
I'm
I
not
got-
getting.
I
it.
got strong Saddam vibes. My sister did it too. I'm like, my dad looks like Saddam Hussein.
that, and
so
so,
I
you
felt-
had. That's crazy.
So I felt
No,
sympathy.
I don't see Saddam Hussein at all. Actually, I see Russell Crowe in Les Mis.
Okay,
Is he a good singer?
Okay, I do have a good palate cleanser video for you all. Before we get into super chats. Yeah. So this is just, I'll play it real quick. We will get copyright claimed because I did for this video that I uploaded, but I'll play it. It's like 10 seconds. This made me smile.
It means little human being.
I love your
Ugh, the smile is very creepy. Okay.
Smiling is creepy.
No, your smile specifically.
Got it.
But let's go back.
No,
I just love that so much.
No, play it again.
You want to play it again?
You should show her the full 3 minutes of her like just absolutely schooling Charlie Kirk, like point after point after point.
Okay, guys,
Like,
hold on. That's
just had
Charlie
facts
Kirk.
on the
Why do these people look different in different spaces? Because that didn't look like. I'm like, who's this person? Ooh,
Yeah, he is also a living jump scare.
he looks so different. Works, but go ahead. Let's play it.
Okay.
A baby can survive outside of utero.
So it's actually 24 to 26
Well, it's
weeks.
20. The youngest ever in a NICU unit actually happened in San Diego, not far from here,
big.
and survived at 20 weeks.
Okay, so under Roe v. Wade, 93% of abortions happened
Press
in the
pause
first
for a second.
13
Press
weeks
pause
of
for a second.
pregnancy.
It is like off the bat insane to use an anomaly as your baseline. Like there was that one time that a kid survived, a baby survived.
They do that
Even
often.
survived that. That one time is not the baseline. I'm sorry,
Exactly.
that's not the.
My
that's just
mom was watching me watch this. She works directly in child development for like indigenous communities and stuff like that. And she said immediately, she's like, even 24 weeks is very rare. So please don't use that as a baseline. That is again that it is possible, but that you're talking about very, very notable like rarities, right?
Yeah.
That's 93% of the abortions happened well before a fetus is technically viable
For
as
sure.
a form
so
of life.
let's go into viability. So what is it about, let's say, a 6-week baby that has a heartbeat, its own DNA, fingerprint, brain waves, that is less moral worth than an 88-year-old right now with dementia in a home down the street? that person requires assistance, requires help. Why is it that the 6-week baby is of less moral worth?
Well, first of all, it's not a baby, it's a fetus.
Well, what does fetus mean?
A fetus is in utero.
What does fetus mean in Latin?
What the
It means little human being.
Again,
the smile is very creepy. Okay.
Oh my
He's just
god!
like obsessed with those little moments where he thinks he's got one on somebody.
I know. He's like,
I know
wait,
what
you
is.
literally know what
This
Latin
Latin.
is?
Dude,
Oh, that is crazy. That is a crazy
I know,
smile.
that's so creepy.
Her reaction is, I've watched the beginning of this video so much because her reaction to that is hilarious. Because when I was watching this for the first time, my response to his smile was like, oh, and then she did the same thing. She's like, oh, like it's
Oh
like
my god!
a jump scare.
Because it came out of nowhere. It was
Yeah.
like, what?
Like it's giving me the heebie-jeebies. Okay,
Get it off of here.
The smile is very creepy. Okay.
Smiling is creepy.
No, your smile specifically.
Got it.
But let's go back to we're losing track here.
No, but is what species is the fetus?
The fetus is not a species yet. It's technically classified as a parasite until it is viable.
So
now I want to talk to you about something very quickly.
I can't let you get past that. Are you saying a baby is a disease or a tumor?
A parasite is not a disease and a tumor. Those are not the same thing. A
Let's pause
parasite
again.
is defined as something that cannot survive.
He's stupid. Like
Well, he's a goalpost mover. Every single time she basically educates him on a topic, he then has to move it a little bit further. And he's like, "Wait, are you calling children and human life a disease?"
Yeah.
I was like, "No. Okay, I'm gonna have to define for you what these words mean then, because we're on totally different levels right now."
Yeah, and if you watch this whole thing, so he gets cooked on so many fucking issues. DEI came up. He said that Kamala Harris is a DEI candidate. And then one of the kids came up and was like, hey, what do you think about the Senate? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, don't you think the Senate is a DEI institution? Because why should somebody from California get the same amount of senators as somebody from Wyoming? Isn't that for purposes of inclusion of rural areas for white people? And Charlie Kirk was like, what? I don't understand. Like it was really effective. Same with like that same kid Parker in this. He was really, really effective. So Charlie Kirk said that, a trans woman is not a woman. So Parker came up and he was like, okay, well, what is a man? I defined a woman, define a man. And then he brought in religion where he's like, okay, but you say God the Father, but what was the gender of the Father before Jesus? And Charlie Kirk was like, and I'm paraphrasing by the way, but Charlie Kirk was like, well, he was genderless. And he's like, but you still used he, him pronouns. Why? Like, because he was referred to as a father. And he's like, so you're respecting his pronouns. Why? Like, can you not define him? It was just really, really effective the way that he did it.
Outside of its host, a baby, before it is viable, cannot survive outside of a woman's womb.
Got it. So let's extrapolate that.
It is not a living organism.
Why does that then equate to moral viability?
It equates to scientific viability.
Why? Under what standard?
Because it is not alive, and you are advocating for the rights of something that is not technically a life.
Got it. So what is something
while
that has
sacrificing the needs of the human woman who is alive.
Got it.
Okay, that was.
Okay, that's.
Oh, look at
that's
your face.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, watch my video on this. It's copyright claimed, but I got some highlights, but the whole thing was very long. It was like an hour and a half. It was a lot of debate.
I'm gonna watch it.
But yeah, it was fun.
She does awesome.
Yeah, the college students,
that's like
they crushed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, should we do super chats?
It was good.
Okay. Some people did my little two cash apps. I'm gonna read them and I'm out of here. Here we go. Because last time I didn't read them and I want to make sure I say Parker, because I don't want to give y'all government, so I make that mistake. Parker, thank you so much. D, not a big, says for big time Bex. Thank you. Tony Alley, thank you for coffee. I'm gonna get tea. And someone said, I hope you use this for, and that's Carrie. I hope you use this for some Haitian self-care. Thank you. I appreciate it because it's been a stressful week with all of this news. But y'all, love y'all, mean it. And I will see y'all next Thursday.
Take care. I'll be off next Thursday, by the way, everybody. I'm going to take a staycation. I was going to do it this week, but the fucking debate happened. So I will be gone next week.
I will see y'all. Love y'all.
See you
mean
too.
it.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, Rebecca.
Lance, did you have any you wanted to read?
Yeah, they'll be super fast. I only have a couple. Looney Tunes 9,000. Thank you for the $4.99. The super chat goes to those affected by Hurricane Francine. One of them being me. Yeah, one of my mods is currently in the hurricane, so please stay safe and do what you got to do. Lady Badass, thank you for being a member. She's also spreading the talking points that trans people aren't trans. They're just autistic, which is straight up trans erasure. And I guess talking about Megyn Kelly, the horrifying human. Old Grease, thank you very much for the membership. Would not blame Mark Zuckerberg at all for artificially boosting the popularity of his rival's daughter on Threads. I mean, it's too... Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, but maybe.
Wow.
And then finally...
I don't think he cares enough, honestly. I really don't think he cares enough.
Yeah, no.
It's a one-sided feud. Like Elon Musk is feuding with Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg does not care about Elon Musk.
Yeah, fair. And finally, thank you so much for the unbelievably generous $100 dono from Sam Rocher with the message "Amazing speech, Rebecca," and I appreciate that. And I would also send some of that money Rebecca's way as well. Take it away.
Okay.
Wait, someone just joined us.
Yeah. Our guest just arrived.
As we're over.
did we forget to give them the right time?
Hey.
I'm not hearing anything still.
I was like, we're literally just ending right now. We're doing the
we were actually wrapping. We're gonna get into super chats, but you are absolutely free to stay.
Hello, can you hear us?
What? Can't hear us.
Can't hear.
If you're having trouble, check in the settings of StreamYard. I don't know if you can hear me though. If you can hear me, in the settings on StreamYard, it should have some things that say input, output.
I'm typing a message in the private chat. Check the settings in the bottom left.
I can message.
Okay. We'll have to touch bases with them again. All right, so what I'll do is I'll just read mine, Matt, and then we'll go through yours. And then I feel like it's easier that way. And then you just read all yours, and I'll just click them and bring them up on the screen.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Tokyo Hans, thank you for being a member for 7 months. Thank you, Kenzie Page, 15 months. Amazing. Andrew S, 14 months. Really, really appreciate that. Let's see here. I think I missed the next one. The next one for me is Parker. Where is it?
Yeah, in some trouble?
Yeah, it's not popping up for me. Hang on. Let me see. Oh, okay. I just found it. There we go. Parker, $5. Thank you. Mehdi Hassan asked Bowman if he'd run for Congress again, and he said, no, probably not the House, but maybe something like mayor, senator, or governor. Okay, I would love if he ran for Richie Torres' seat, but if he's going to still be in politics, I think that's a net win for all of us. Okay, the next one is Shami for me. I feel like it's not.
What's going on? Having issues?
Yeah, it's not showing me the super chats on my back end in StreamYard. I'm getting like, see if there's one after that. Try to see because
where are you at?
Well, I'm getting actually the.
Do you see the next one? I see is a bunch of memberships. Is that what you see?
Yeah, I see that. Okay, let me just. I'll read it out loud.
Right, let's pull those up. Right, Kenzie Page, member 15 months. That for you?
Yeah. Yep, that's for me.
And then we got Andrew S, member 14 months. Is that also for you? I think so, right?
Yep. Next one should be Tokyo Hans, right?
Yeah, that's what I see. That
okay,
one for you or me?
That one is going to be for you. So I think what I'll do is I'll just read the one that I'm seeing in the back end. And but not put it on the screen because for whatever reason, StreamYard is not showing it. So the next one that I see is $4.99 from Shami Sengupta. Thank you, Shami. Could you have Good Politic Guy on as a guest? He's been doing stellar work covering the Gaza news. I would love to have Good Politic Guy on. He is awesome. Yeah, we got to do that for sure. The next one is from Jana Blaha, $5. Thank you so much. I feel like as a country, we are ready to turn a page in history and take on a new optimism. I hope so. That would be wonderful. Unknown with $5. Thank you so much. Jasmine, who runs your Discord, has been trying to contact you. She sent you an email, which I've heard you don't check. So this is a promptu. I also don't check my Discord. So I'm not sure what she needs with regard to the Discord, but my Discord is basically dead, and I have no interest in reactivating it. So yeah.
Really? Wow, what happened? Something happened?
I don't use Discord. I've tried. I cannot get into it. So, if my viewers want to set up a Discord and chill, that's cool. But I just can't. I don't want any involvement with it because I genuinely just have no use for Discord. I've tried so hard to get into it, and it's not for me. It's not clicking with me. I just don't like it for some reason. So. And then we have a super sticker. It's a 1-up with a hippo eating the 1-up. Thank you so much. $2.99 super sticker. Next one here. Orpheus with $2. Green Party actual Russian shills. Thank you for the $2. Tokyo Hans, 1,000 yen. Thank you. Matt split this with David and Rebecca. Okay, we'll do. We have Fritza, $4.99. Appreciate you, Fritza. Third-party candidates not wait until a presidential election to show up. Build an infrastructure to have all you need for a successful run. Thank you, Fritza. Anupam with $9.99. Thoughts on the AOC versus Stein thing. They have fewer city council seats than the Working Families Party, Madison, Wisconsin Progressive Party, Vermont parties, or socialists. Yeah, same thoughts as earlier. This is the same thing we see every election. We see leftists fighting over this, and it just never goes anywhere. So the same is going to be true here. It feels like a repeat to me. Chris Corcoran with $5. Thank you so much. Do you know Jay Washington and Winston A. Marshall from Blurds in the Hood? I think they'd be great guests here. Their show is super informative but funny. I'll have to look into that. Thank you. The next one here is from Cosmere Dragon, $5. Next time, to continue the meme, have your guest start as the only person on the call claiming they have kicked out the other 5. Maybe Kyle Kalinske. That'd be funny. Kyle Kalinske probably won't be able to join us for a while because he has obligations as a stepdad on Thursdays. So it's a really bad time for him. So maybe if we do like a separate show on the weekend or something. Cosmere Dragon. Thank you for the $5. But seriously, next time you do a surprise stream on another day, that's not Thursday, bring on Kyle. Yeah, for sure. If he's not also streaming, like a debate or something, that's a good idea. I don't know if he was streaming this debate. We should have asked him. I didn't think about it, though. Patrick P. Roy Herman, $5. Thank you so much. Mike, you got to drop all your outros as an album. I'll pay for it. The Woke Mob one is a legit banger. If you go to my second channel, it's just called Mike Figueredo. I uploaded like a 45-minute long video with every single one of my outros, excluding like the latest ones. And you can just listen to the full thing.
I didn't know that.
I did, yeah.
I have to check it out.
Got a lot of outros. The next one is from Terabyte. There we go. $5. In the middle with Megan is Emily, who is friends with Sagar and appears on Breaking Books. Oh, the Megan Kelly video. Oh, okay, that's who the blonde lady is. Okay. I did not recognize her, but thank you for letting me know. Where am I at? Okay. Next one is a deleted message from Celeste. I don't know why it's
just throw it up there.
I don't know why it's deleted, but it just says F Taylor Swift. She is insufferable. Sorry, from Celeste.
Ooh,
Celeste, I'm not
Celeste
sure
is
why.
trying to hide from the Swifties. That's why she didn't want you to read that.
I felt like you were probably a Taylor Swift fan for some reason, Celeste. Maybe it's because like Celeste is like I feel like that's the name of a Taylor Swift fan. It just sounds like a very
like she's not a good person. She's a billionaire. It's just it's a good thing if more people are registered to vote, kind of thing. I think she's still wasn't she tracked as like the single biggest carbon emitter for any individual because of how many like private planes she takes constantly. Like there's reasons why you could criticize Taylor Swift, but I think it's a decidedly good thing if she's getting people to vote and get activated maybe.
Well, now I know that Celeste hates Taylor Swift. Wow. I just feel like I don't know why I assumed that you would be Taylor Swift fan. Like there's certain names that just like give off certain fan bases, like a Celeste, a Bridget, an Ashley. I feel like they're all Taylor Swift fans. I don't know why. That's just a thought that I have.
As someone in your chat pointed out, Mike, she also did 9/11, so don't forget about that.
Oh,
who did 9/11?
Apparently Taylor Swift did.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought maybe Celeste.
Maybe Celeste as well.
Celeste might have been involved. I don't know. See, we thought it was Bush at first. It was actually Taylor Swift. Could be Celeste. Okay.
Anyone but the Saudis, essentially.
Absolutely. That's the official position of the United States government. So.
Yeah, anyone but Saudi Arabia. Anything but Saudi nationals.
That's wild. No doubt Megyn Kelly believes that horrible stuff, but I think her pivoted for the right wing was mostly to save her career. Trump made her irrelevant. I think that's true. I think also on YouTube, she's worse because the algorithm really incentivizes that type of psychopathic behavior. So she is she's doing it for views and clicks too, I think. But I think you're also right. Another from Babe Photo. Oh yeah, like public schools in this country have the budget to perform assignment surgery on the kids. Yeah, right.
No shit.
It's so funny the way,
or the prisons in the U.S. have the money to perform surgeries on illegal aliens who arrive and are arrested.
Right. It's like as teachers have to literally buy fucking school supplies for their students. These idiots think
that's like that one doesn't make sense because I was like, wait, so are you saying that you're okay with gender affirming care for people who desperately need it if they're illegal aliens? I thought you hated illegal aliens, but now it's like you're saying it as if it's like a form of punishment, right? Like she's gonna pay for illegal aliens to get gender affirming surgery in prison. But then, I don't know. I think it's confused. I think it's
they're all confused.
Yeah, they're all confused. Yeah,
it's so fucking unhinged. Yeah. Okay, we got.
It's just like when RFK Jr. said how the government should be providing instead of what was it? I forget why he brought it up, but he said the government should be providing 3 healthy meals per day, and they were all like, "Yeah!" It's like, what?
Healthy.
Did Michelle Obama not go through? Did Michelle Obama not go through years of shit because she said that school children should get 1 healthy meal per day while they're in school? And you guys now think the U.S. government should be providing 3 healthy meals to everybody in the country? I mean, hell, I'm for it, but that doesn't jibe with what you guys have been going with.
You remember when Michelle Obama did turnip for what? She was holding a turnip and she's like, turnip for what? Yeah, to promote the healthy meals.
I remember that actually.
That's such a Democrat thing, I swear to God. That's like a Hillary Clinton coded thing, in my opinion. Fritz with $4.99. Thank you so much. Guys, I don't want to be triggered tonight with Marianne Williamson. I was in high school and many kids lost their lives for the stupidity in the 90s. It's not funny. That's it. That's so fucked up.
Hold on, Mike, for a second. If you don't mind, can I just put up a non-super chat up on the feed for a second? Because it's making me laugh. Okay. So Mr. Good says, "Holy crap! I just realized Matt is the dude on the Majority Report sometimes." I have to ask. This is episode 90 of Leftist Mafia. How long you? Are you like watcher from episode 1? Because that'd be really funny. Wait a minute, what? 90 episodes in, you realize?
God, our 100th episode might align with the election, kinda. No, it's probably not, but that'd be cool. Sam with the member super chat, member for 61 months. My goodness, Sam, you're amazing. Elon Musk and Russian asset Dave Rubin just exposed themselves as weird, but now degenerate. And now they got the Swifties angry. Yeah, I'm sure that'll work out well for them. Okay. Omega with $5. Thank you, Omega. To quote y'all and big time Bex, every migrant worker from a marginalized country busts their asses all the time. Screw those racist tropes. Absolutely. Immigrants are the nicest people. So it is so fucked up that they are constantly demonized. I'll trade every immigrant and refugee in the world for all of our nasty ass fucking conservative racists in a second.
Well,
Fritza.
I'd like to keep one or two for entertainment value. So please don't trade them.
That's
all
fair. That's fair. Leave us Marjorie maybe and Laura Loomer so they can fight.
No, I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene is that entertaining. We can find better ones.
Okay.
Like
okay.
I think someone like a Dave Rubin or a Tim Pool are a lot more entertaining, a lot funnier.
That's true. That's fair. Fritza with $1.99. I didn't know Haiti was poor until it came to America. Thank you, Fritza. We also have another one from Omega with $5. Thank you. Many right-wingers kill enough animals to be on track to be serial killers. Have you seen Laura Loomer, Tim Pool, and Benny Johnson's faces? Bateman types. Yeah, a lot of these people, I feel like they really give sociopath vibes to me. Eric Archipong with $10. Thank you, Eric. Side tangent, but how do you feel about the $700 PS5 Pro? That is insane to me. I don't even understand the point of it. And it doesn't come with a disk drive or the vertical stand, so you're basically paying over $800. To me, like, you're in the territory where you're close enough to just save your money for a PC. I personally would not get this. I don't even know, like, if you're going to get the most out of this, just because who has, like, TVs that can support 8K or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't know the technical specs for it, but like, I just feel like people's TVs don't take advantage of this. Probably.
It's so expensive. That's
It's
the cost
ridiculous.
of what Neo Geo was when it came out, and only the rich kids I knew were people who actually contemplated buying that, or like a Sega CD, or things that were like $700 to $800 or $900. Like, I don't know.
Jesus.
People just got PS5s like last year or so because they finally became available due to a myriad of factors. You know, cryptocurrency mining, we're using up all the chips, the delays in shipping, the manufacturing of them, COVID. So like I just got my PS5, I think like last year or the year before, right? It was because they finally you could buy them in stores. It was they weren't like twice the price on eBay, and now it's like spend a computer on like it's wild.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. The games look amazing. I just don't understand. I think it's so stupid, and I feel like, maybe if you're really, really bougie and have extra money, you'll buy one. But I kind of feel like this is gonna flop. But who knows?
Yeah, who owns an 8K TV? Like, I don't think I bought anything beyond 1080p. Like, do you have an 8K television? How big is it? Do you need 8K resolution that it doesn't distort? I mean, that's for like movie theater.
Yeah, I don't like. So we have a 4K TV that we bought a couple of years ago, and the difference between 4K and 1080p. I mean, you notice it, but it's not that much. It's not enough for me to pay the extra like $5 on Netflix to get 4K. Like, and then even if you have 4K, like you might not have like the refresh rate. Like I'm boomer exposing myself because I don't know. But like you're not going to be able to take advantage of everything with these consoles. So it's like that again. Like I just feel like maybe it's because I'm moving more and more to PC because everything's going to be probably digital for consoles in the coming years. So I'd rather just have my library on Steam. But like you're so close to a gaming PC.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know or didn't work in film, basically the resolutions, when you hear 720p or 1080p, that's talking to you about what size the native resolution is going to be. And on a television, for the average person who's got like, a 60, 80, or even 100 inch, you're not going to notice a difference if the image is stretched that much. On a movie theater, because it's a monstrously huge screen, 8K makes sense because it's been stretched so big that you would still want to see it in good resolution on that size of the screen. But if you're at home, like if you have a 60-inch 8K TV, that makes absolutely the human eye will not be able to differentiate between the pixels. You, as much as you say like, oh no, I can tell, like you can't. Like
yeah, this feels like the PS5 Pro it just feels like a cash grab. Bro, I'm still waiting for my fucking Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Stoneflower, for the 5 gifted memberships. That is so kind of you. Really appreciate that. I'm almost done here, Matt. Sorry. Car Wash Freak 97, $1.99. Vote, don't get complacent. Excuse me. Make sure you register. Yes. Oxpecker with $5. Thank you so much. I find Discord disorienting too, but the point of a Discord commune, in my opinion, is having a community where you're the thing everyone has in common. Yeah, I can't get into it. I don't know what it is. It feels like it's less like a message board, which I kind of get, and it's more like an instant message with like a ton of people. There's something about it that just like I don't like. I've tried so hard. I just cannot get into Discord.
I felt the same way, and then like I'm slowly starting to get it, and it's making me want to like relaunch my also previously ignored Discord.
Really?
So
how'd you get into it? Is there like a specific server?
I still don't feel like I know like all the like people who are hardcore in Discord, all like the stuff to like set it up and the automated stuff if you're an admin, like all those like things you can add. But I don't understand that with Twitch either, by the way. But for Discord, I don't know. I just started like realizing that a lot of people like it because people are just more active in there than in other places. I don't know why, what it is about Discord that people do like that makes them more active. Like there were just a few like random like different communities like tech stuff, news, like just that I dropped in to see and like people are really active in those in a way that they're not usually active anywhere else. Like Facebook groups is another one where if you find a good Facebook group, people are really active in there. It's really weird. It's like the only place on Facebook that that's still good and being used for non-boomer AI slop.
I hate Facebook. It's so bad. Kowalski with $2. Mike, I'm not upset with you. I will explain. I will not explain. Okay, well, I appreciate that. Grumpy Queer with $2. It's Dave Rubles. Oh, that's good. Feisty Fan with $4.99. Thank you. Laura Loomer's face looks like a purge mask. Goddamn.
Oh my god.
Chris Corcoran with $5. I remember Rachel Zegler last month saying Free Palestine in a Snow White tweet, and she hasn't posted since. Kind of worried Disney could fire her. Oh, I hope not.
They can't fire her. The movie's done.
Oh, is it? Okay, that's good.
It's done. That's it.
That's Snow White, right? Snow White, right?
Snow White. Yeah, they're not gonna throw away that movie because she said that.
Okay. Autistic Goblin, $10. Thank you, Autistic Goblin. Appreciate that. Very generous of you. Mike, Discord isn't for you. It's for your fans who want to meet and connect with other like-minded lefties. Okay, I see. It's hard for me to figure out how to facilitate that though. If I'm not involved. I'll have to figure something out, or maybe I'll just have to try to like set up the server or hand over power to the server. How about this? I'll check my email. I'll check my. That was the original. Check your email. I'll do that. Okay.
That's the nicest thing to do.
Yeah. Zero PE with $4.99. Thank you so much, Zero. I really like the watch party aspect on Discord. I watch horror movies on Tuesday with the group, and that's always fun. That would be fun. Okay, I understand. I appreciate you all explaining it to me because I am a boomer. I don't use Discord. I'm trying to minimize Twitter and just social media in general. So yeah, I appreciate you all explaining it to me. I'll put this out there. I will rethink Discord and I will check the email after I get back from my staycation. Okay, Matt. It's all you.
I'm gonna raid out before y'all keep doing the super chats. But,
all right, cool. Do you have anything to read?
I already read them. I only had a couple of little baby ones at the start. So take it away, boys, and I'll see you next Thursday. Right.
Take care, Lance. Okay.
Did we give him the boot, or did he shut it off?
He jumped out. He was gonna say bye F slurs, and then he got cut beforehand. He got censored. Okay. So go ahead and just.
I did that thing that happens sometimes, where like for the first like 45 minutes to an hour, I'm like nonstop talking and I wear myself out and then like the last hour, I'm just like sitting here. I'm like, I'm just listening. I'm too exhausted.
Yeah. So I was gonna say just go ahead and read them, and then I'll just highlight them as you read them on your back end. I think that'll probably be easiest.
You're gonna what on my back end?
I showed your back at your YouTube studio. You're reading it. Just read it out loud, and then as you say the name, I'll read it. Shut up, Matt.
You're gonna what my back end? This happens when it's just you and me on the super chats. It becomes like
we become delusional.
We become insane. It's like X-rated midnight showing of
it's the Biden Trump debate. Once it's just us, our brains like switch off, and then I become Joe Biden, you become Donald Trump during that debate. Okay, who's up first for you? I'll get the ball rolling.
I got Parker. Oh, Parker sent that to me, the Mehdi Hassan one. You maybe send the both. Parker, whoever Parker is, he or she.
Oh my God.
They.
Okay. So yeah, I'll read Parker's from me really quick. I completely read the wrong one. Okay, sorry, Parker. I'm not seeing yours on the StreamYard end, but Parker said to me, just want to say Mike put out a great video going over the Twitter feud between Laura Loomer and Marjorie Greene. It's worth your time. Thank you so much, Parker. I really appreciate you saying that. I'm sorry that I missed that originally, and you're plugging my video. I wish that showed up in StreamYard so I could read it. But I will pull it up for Matt.
All right. We read this already.
Read this.
About
Okay.
Son asked Bowman if he'd run for Congress again.
Right,
He said,
right,
no, probably
right.
not the House, but maybe something like mayor, senator, or governor. Maybe a mayoral run could be good.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the mayoral race is sort of. I don't know what's going on there, so I can't say. Senator to governor, I think that's a long shot. He'd be better off going for that House seat that Richie Torres has.
I would love to see him beat Richie Torres. Would be awesome. Okay, I believe
it's not for me.
No.
Oh wait, it's for me, but there's a Tokyo Hans one before.
Yeah,
there we go.
that's the one I missed. Okay.
Okay, Tokyo Hans. Out of all the AI faceovers in the opening, Lance is the most natural looking. Any relation to Antonio Lance? We should have asked. I will say I don't think there's a single one that looks like me. Sorry, Mike.
Same. Well, Lance did all the deep fakes. I only did the newer ones.
Oh, okay. So Lance definitely then took the time to make sure his were the best. It seems
well, the ones that I did were actually I did do Rebecca's deep fake, and I did some of the newer ones, but
hers are really good. Hers are good. Lance's are good. A few of the David Dole ones are really good.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger one with David Dole is the best. I think it looks so natural.
Yeah, the one for me is definitely the worst. I don't know if that was someone trying to stick it to me or.
All right, just keep reading and I'll.
Andrew S, member for 14 months. Thank you so much, Andrew S. Really appreciate it. Sarah with a super chat. The NYPD commissioner just resigned in connection to that Eric Adams investigation. Okay. I really would love to know more. I don't know enough. I don't think anyone really knows enough yet. I don't think anything is really out about what's really going on here. It seems quite insane. We will find out soon, I hope. I mean, we eventually will, but the sooner the better. This guy cannot be mayor for another 4 years. He's been horrible.
Yeah.
Makes you miss Bill de Blasio, honestly.
Yeah.
Reg X with a $10 super chat. Thank you. Jill Stein is an unserious person weaponizing the lives of Palestinians to demonize the Democratic Party. Well, I agree with you on the first part. I don't think you need to weaponize the lives of Palestinians to demonize the Democratic Party. I think what's actually going on in Gaza demonizes the Democratic Party enough. That's on them. That's on them. Which is like, it's incredible really to see like Palestinian activists really who went to that DNC, who went to the DNC, like both realize that they, not realize, but like that like basically what I'm trying to say is the Democratic Party has the White House and it's a Democratic president that's overseeing everything that's going on with Israel in Gaza and putting a rubber stamp on it. Yet at the same time, it is the Democratic Party that is the only one of the two parties that would or could do anything to stop it. And it's just this bizarre reality that we're living in.
Yeah.
But if they're not doing anything yet, hopefully, fingers crossed. Pluvius with the super chat. You know that Jill Stein has a joke when the Libertarian Party has previously been more electorally serious than the Greens. I mean, there's more libertarian people who identify as libertarians in general, though. Like, that's the thing. Like, there is no, like, the Green Party doesn't have their own, like, label. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Libertarian Party has libertarians, which are distinct from, Republicans. I mean, they're all right wingers and conservatives in various degrees, but they are distinct from Republicans in a lot of ways. Greens are basically just leftists and progressives who are disillusioned with the Democrats, but it's not like they own that.
There's
Like,
also
if you're
a
a
lot
libertarian,
more prominent left-wing third parties just altogether. So I think that it's not as consolidated as like the right-wing third parties. I mean, there's a lot of like constitutional parties and like far-right parties, but like there's a pretty big like socialist party. There's a couple of pretty big socialist parties. There's the Communist Party in the United States as well, which, by the way, the Communist Party, interestingly enough, they put out an op-ed saying to vote strategically to defeat fascism, which is really interesting. They're kind of taking like a more DSA approach, it seems like. But yeah, I think that the reason why that isn't necessarily the fault of the Greens. I think it's because there's so many more bigger options on the left in terms of Green Party, right? Like, none of them are big comparatively speaking, but like there's just more left-wing parties.
right? That's part of it, I think, too. But also, it's not an identity. Like, your identity as a libertarian is tied with the Libertarian Party a lot of times. Obviously, not all the time, but it's there and it's distinct. There is no like, I'm a green. I mean, I guess there probably are people who say that, but like
environmentalists probably, but I feel like the Green Party, it
Green
doesn't
Party
necessarily...
is not an environmentalist. I mean, they certainly say they have environmentalist issues, but they're not like, that's not their thing.
Yeah, they're a little bit distinct than like the Green parties in Europe that are a little bit more environmental focused, because you have so many more options if you're in like a multi-party system where you have like an environmental focused party, and then you have like SOCDEMs, and then you have communist parties. Communist parties are basically like, I feel like they're not really super communist. It depends on the party. They're just more like more public goods, not full communism. It depends on the party and the country, but there's more options there is what I mean. So the Greens there are kind of more environmental focused overall, but that's kind of changing too, depending on the country.
Right. Tokyo Hans. The only viable third party is NBMP, New Bull Moose Party, headed by the Figueiredo Binder ticket. We forgot all about that. We sort of dropped that, didn't we?
Yeah. I think we dropped out officially at some point. I don't remember when.
So you can see we took this very seriously, folks. This was...
Who knew you couldn't launch a sustainable campaign based on reading super chats?
Right. What was your extremely gross policy that I even was considering dropping out over? There was some really gross, disgusting thing you brought up, and it was like, I'm out.
I don't remember. Mandatory homosexuality?
No, that wouldn't be gross. It was something very specific and detailed. I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember. There's a bunch of like executions and extrajudicial jailings.
Like, no, it wasn't. It was something sexual for sure.
Was it?
Yes.
I don't remember. I don't know, chat. Help me out. I don't remember.
Yeah, someone will remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. Let me see. Mandatory elder abuse. How dare you? I don't remember.
All right, let's move on.
Chat doesn't know.
Old man. Oh, I can't read the whole username. Old man house phone. Lance, split this with Mike and Ole. Love the whole crew, save for the pyramid head. She's a old mean ass lordy landy ass motherfucker. Never stop what you do, silly face.
Okay. I think this is your next one.
Nope, that's not my next one. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. 1,000 yen super chat. If you are in one of those swing states with RFK Jr. still on the ballot and you can't convince crank uncle to vote for Harris, convince them to vote for RFK. One less vote for Trump. Shift the vote. Yeah.
That's smart. Yeah.
Lars Von Trash. What was that one you put up before? The one that you put up 2 super chats ago that I said that wasn't the next one. Where did that come from?
This might have been mine. Yeah, this was mine. I accidentally clicked it.
Oh, okay. Lars Von Trash. Shout out to Cassandra for granting Mike the gift of prophecy. What is that in reference to? I don't remember.
I don't remember, but I do have it now. Maybe my prediction skills will go up.
Charlie DeGenimer with a membership super chat. Member for 14 months. Thank you, Charlie. You just lost both your conservative fans, Miss Swift. Yeah, I don't know who they're talking about. Like, even if you are a conservative that listens to Taylor Swift, I can't imagine you you like Trump more than Taylor Swift, honestly.
Right.
A85 Ramos with a super chat. The Stephen Miller meltdown clip in the spin room about Venezuela crime numbers is hilarious. Please watch it. Oh, we forgot all about it.
I didn't see the full thing.
Oh, we gotta watch it next week.
I just saw like 5 seconds of it, and I'm like, okay, I cannot listen to this fucking
No, it is.
demon.
You didn't get far enough in then. He loses his shit.
He's such an embarrassment.
Orenza with a super chat. If you haven't already, check out Lauren Chen's stand-up comedy. It's so bad. Oh my God, we have more to do? Wait, where? Could someone send it? Lauren Chen stand-up? Oh, someone did this already. Dead Domain did a reacting to Lauren Chen's stand-up comedy.
I'm going to have to check that out.
What happened? Is she not did she say anything yet? Or is she still hiding?
I know she got deleted off YouTube and she got fired from Turning Point and The Blaze. I don't know if she said anything, honestly. It's been a week, so her lawyers might be like, don't say shit. You're just gonna self-incriminate. The right is pushing her straight out in front of that bus, though, so. Okay, the next one, I believe, is this one, right? From Tokyo Hans?
Hold on, let me see. What do we got here? I can't find what's going on. Oh, here it is. Okay. Taylor Swift with the super chat. Taylor Swift with the super chat. Tokyo Hans with the Oh my God, you said before getting delusional, right? Yeah, I said Taylor Swift with the super chat.
Although I feel like that's an easy mistake to make, where you just start reading it, and you don't really.
Yeah, I guess, unless it would be great if Taylor Swift actually sent me a super chat. Taylor Swift with a $1 million super chat. Thank you, Taylor. Or Taylor Swift with a big white house on a on a cliff looking over the ocean super chat.
A free coupon for a gender transition surgery. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
thank you, Taylor.
Thank you, Taylor, for the surgery, for the top surgery. Let's see, for the bottom surgery. Where is this? I can't even find it anymore. Tokyo Hans, Taylor Swift has officially lost the blonde right-wing commentator lady support. This could end us all.
Yeah, they like her music.
We got Donald James with a membership super chat, member for 14 months. Hey, Matt, I just want to point out that your hair looks great. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a bit, it's looking not so great now. I don't know what it looked like when you sent that. But Tokyo Hans with another super chat. Thank you, Tokyo Hans. Dave Rubin must do a wicked impression of Tigger, or is it just me who thinks that? Why do you think that? And do
I can
not
see that. I don't know why,
do
but I
not
can see that.
defame Tigger like that. Hoo-hoo! TTFN, ta-ta for now. I can't do a Tigger like his voice.
I
Tigger.
feel like I fuck with what Tokyo Hans is saying. I feel it. I think he's right.
Could do Mickey. Uh-huh. Oh boy. Penelope Diote with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Penelope. Megyn Kelly is trying to be cool now by swearing constantly. Her set looks like a Georgia O'Keeffe painting. Feral Jane with a super chat regarding kids coming home from school transitioned. Maybe that's what happens at those private charter schools. That ain't how public schools work. The Synapsis member for 14 months with a member super chat. Thank you, Synapsis. Oh, I'm like getting hiccups now. Happy 90th episode. Always a must-watch listen every week. Oh, thank you, the Synapsis. Yeah,
Awesome.
90 episodes. Well, when will we hit 100? Let me see. Next week would be 91 and 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. Ooh, we might have to skip 97 because that's on Halloween.
Oh, yeah, we definitely do.
Yeah, so 97 will be the following week. 98, 99. Oh, that's Thanksgiving. I don't know if we'll do a Thanksgiving episode.
Probably skip that one.
Well, I don't know. It's not Thanksgiving for David Dole and Lance. They might do it.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't last year, but maybe they will if they want to.
So episode 100 will likely be December 5th.
Okay.
That's crazy. We did 100 of these.
That's
almost.
Yeah. That's hundreds of hours of content, literally.
Yeah. And I'm looking around me, and boy, what little do I have to show for it. Spasticus with a super chat. We've been trying to reach you concerning your vehicle's extended warranty. Oh. Thank you for the super chat, though, Spasticus. I will not be answering those calls, though. Kowalski with a super chat. Matt, I'm upset with you. I won't explain. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
How are things doing on the farm, Kowalski? Looney Tunes 9000 with a super chat. This super chat is for all of those affected by Hurricane Francine. Stay safe. It's very nice of you to say, Looney Tunes. I guess you have to go get them the $5 that you sent me now, though, after you said that. Stealing the money. When someone says, give this to Mike, I feel fine stealing that money. But when you say, give this to those affected by Hurricane Francine,
I feel like if they wanted it to be going to them, they would probably donate to a local organization that could put that to good use.
I don't know. I feel like I need to help my audience in their money laundering. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Matt looks really similar to the guy from Doomed. Yeah, we have some similarities. Sunbear with a super chat. Hey Matt, tell Emma I'm with her on Taylor Swift. Right, Emma Vigland on Majority Report earlier today shared her absolute dislike for Taylor Swift in general.
Really?
She really doesn't like Taylor Swift. Yes. She made it clear it was specifically because she endorsed Kamala Harris. She was hoping that Taylor Swift would endorse Donald Trump. No, I don't. That has nothing to do with it. She just doesn't like her. Because she brought up the whole thing where Taylor Swift re-releases music specifically to make sure other female artists can't go to #1. Like apparently every time a new female artist is about to hit #1, which they know beforehand, like, when it looks likely that it's going to happen, Taylor Swift all of a sudden re-releases like a re-recorded album just so she could hit #1 instead. I don't know if that's true. I have no idea. I don't pay
it might not necessarily be purposeful, but yeah, I could see why that's annoying. You know, let other artists get a chance to kind of flourish, especially female artists. I personally don't really have any problems with Taylor Swift. I think that her last album, like every song, basically sounded the same. I tried listening to it, couldn't get into it, but you know, if it makes you happy, it makes you happy.
What else? Let's see. We got I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Lars Von Trash with another super chat. Thank you, Lars. $5.69 super chat. Very specific number. Shout out to Sabrina Carpenter for giving a platform to one of those transgender aliens Trump mentioned. I don't know what you're talking about here. I'm assuming something happened at the VMAs.
Yeah, I just saw a picture of her kissing an alien, like somebody in the costume as an alien at the VMAs. I saw it on Twitter.
Was it a reference to that, or was it something completely
that I don't know?
Or they just okay.
The only other thing I saw from the VMAs was Taylor Swift telling people to register to vote.
Oh, she said it on the VMAs. Nice.
She did, yeah. She when she won some award or something. I just like scrolling by. I wasn't really paying too much attention to it, but that's all that I saw.
Bay Photo with a super chat, member for 14 months. Thank you, Bay Photo. For the guy that's on the majority report sometimes. I am the guy that's on the majority report sometimes. That sometimes is actually pretty scheduled every Thursday appearance, but I'm on it sometimes, every now and then. This I can never do this name, nor will I ever know how to.
Sure.
But Angelin de Bakashaki. With a super chat. Discord reminds me of bulletin board systems from the 80s. Not a compliment.
Okay, I actually got a couple more as well.
Oh, well, I got one more, so let me read it, and then we'll go to yours. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Mike's gross policy tweet. He was very pro BB. Cupping something was involved.
Oh, right. Right. I was making fun of Joe Biden and the hug situation. And I'd be like, no, as president, I would like cup his balls and then ask him for how much more weapons he needs from our citizens or something. It was something like that. Right.
It was a lot more explicit than just even the cupping the balls part. And I think that's where you lost me.
I was trying to make a very like a point about Biden being a cuck in a very gross way. I apologize. I regret my actions.
You don't got to apologize. I just wouldn't run with you anymore.
You have to have Rebecca Pelosi me to get me off the ticket, and then you take over and you run with Rebecca. Okay, Autistic Goblin with $2 says, get good mods. We do need probably some more mods. Autistic Goblin, if you're interested, hit me up. Send me an email, and I'll try to remember to check it, or a DM on Twitter. I can't remember if we're following each other on Twitter, but yeah, if you're interested, we always could use more mods. I know that the only ones here tonight that I saw were Zero and Brian, and I think I saw Dom.
Yeah, I saw someone reach out to me about becoming a mod in my Discord. Don't reach out to me in the super chat. I'll never see it. Like, literally DM me on Twitter or message me on Instagram or literally anywhere but the live chat on YouTube, because there's no way I can go back and find that. Like, at least with like a message on email or something I could. Yeah. So message me. There's plenty of ways to message me. You'll find out. Just search my name. You'll find me. But live chat on YouTube or Twitch, possibly the worst place to give me a contact or a request or something like that.
Oh,
okay. No going back to reference it.
I'm reading the chat, and Autistic Goblin is talking about mods on Discord. Okay.
No, I know they're talking about that.
I was thinking mods on YouTube, where it's like, well, we could always use more mods for sure, just in case.
No, message me on Discord even. Look me up on Discord. Matt Binder on Discord. I'm Binder on Discord.
Yeah, I forgot Tara was in the chat too. Don't want to forget about Tara. Awesome mods. We always want to send thank you to the mods. We love our mods. But yeah,
glory be to the mods.
Did tremendous. Okay, this is from Dynamic Editor, $5. Thank you, Mike. I run your server. Oh well, thank you. I did not know. I genuinely did not know that. I can connect with you over email if you like. Well, listen, Dynamic Editor. We'll connect and try to figure out. Maybe you can set up people who want to update the server or something like that. And then if you get it all, if you get like some mods, then that'll be. Yeah, we'll
I
just
love
talk.
how Mike was like, "There's nobody I respect more than my mods," and then someone's like, "Hey, Mike, I run your Discord server," and you're like, "Who are you?"
I'm sorry. I genuinely don't ever pay attention to Discord. No disrespect to Dynamic Editor. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. My Discord originally was set up by I think Leon, who does the Kyle out of context clips, and I think
Listen,
maybe it was someone else.
To my mods, I want
remember.
you to. My mods, I respect you so much. Reach out to me anytime. Oh, hey, Discord server guy, new phone. Who this?
I'm so sorry, everybody else who's mods elsewhere. Okay, no disrespect. Taken. Thank you, Dynamic Editor. I'm so biased towards my YouTube mods. They are amazing, but I love the other mods as well in other places that I don't recognize. You're all amazing people. Okay, the next one here was this one, SMNR 199. Leave us Jimmy Dore and Russell Brand fake centrists. Okay, if that's going back to the if we could have 2 right wingers or something, and then trade the rest of the right wingers with immigrants. Koya Damon with $5. Thank you. Do you play games on PS5? Was wondering what you're playing recently. I have so many PS5 games wish listed, including Astrobot. I do. Yeah, I play games on PS5. I am right now playing Black Myth Wukong on PC, but Astrobot is the very next game I'm gonna play. I just finished up Neo 2 on PS5. Thought it was great. Okay. Got one last one here from A85 Ramos with $5. Thank you, Ramos. Seeing Emma's righteous hate for Taylor Swift on MR just makes me think Emma really is one of the good ones. Can't wait for her eventual hostile takeover. Yeah, we love Emma. Emma's amazing. That's all I've got.
I have another super chat, but I have just a few on Twitch. 1 second.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'll pull up Twitch too while you're doing that.
Hello, lovely scientists. Resubscribed for 12 months at tier 1. They've already been subscribed for 12 months. Thank you so much. Hello, lovely scientists. Really appreciate it. Valinova cheered 500 bits. Launch a humanist Binder Discord and abandon it. And someone whose username is just Twitch, apparently, cheered 75 bits. We added 50 bits. Oh, wait, no, this is Twitch. What is this? We added 50 bits and 25 bonus bits to Valinova's cheer? How does that work? Why did the Twitch do that?
Did you buy?
No.
That's weird.
Interesting. I'll take it though. Thank you, Twitch.
Yeah.
All right, folks. That's the show, right? We're done.
Yeah, that's it. Do you want to raid Cosmopolitics?
Didn't we raid them last time?
Was that Cosmopolitics last time?
I have no problem raiding Cosmopolitics again. She's great. I'm just trying to make sure we're constantly giving new people the raids.
I don't remember if that was last time, but we can raid someone else.
Oh, there's a guy named Hassan on right now. He could use the viewers. Do you want to?
He doesn't.
No, we could raid Cosmopolitics. Also, I see USA Hold is on. Hamosi Goat is on. Yeah, whoever you want to raid.
We have 12, or no, I have 11 viewers. So as we contemplate, they're checking out. So it's less.
Oh, okay. So let's just do Cosmopolitics. That's fine.
They're like, okay, bye.
I have nothing against. Are you rating?
Yeah. I clicked it, so it's counting down.
Yeah, I'm doing the countdown too. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Another great show. Mike, you're out next week, right?
I'm out next week. Yeah, I'll be back the following week.
David Dole will hopefully be back.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, see you all soon, everybody.
Yeah, take care.
I'm hitting raid. Are you
All
doing
right,
it?
same.
I'm hitting it.
Yep.
Boom. Peace.